In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, let's take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Al, I'm your DM, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. With us today is Joe, Maddie, Yvonne, Laura, and Sabrina. I'll let you each introduce yourselves. Joe?
Yeah, hi, my name's Joe. I'm from the UK and I play Cora, who is an Aasimar life cleric.
Excellent. Maddie?
Hey, I'm Maddie. I'm from the US and I play Satina, a dwarf wizard.
Wonderful. Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne. I'm from Canada, and I play a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a dragonborn wizard.
And last but not least, Sabrina.
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm from the Netherlands and I play Oriel Stormwind, a paladin.
What race is she?
Ooh, she's half elf.
Right. I mean, unless it's something you feel uncomfortable discussing in public.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I never fill those surveys out myself. All right. So, who would like to, for a point of inspiration, which of course you can also hand off to your party members. You can even sell them to party members. We never discussed that, but technically it's a free market game, so you can do whatever you want. Who would like, for a point of inspiration, to remind us of how we got to where we are in the game? I don't mean like philosophically in life.
Well, maybe I can throw in.
Sure.
All right. So please stand by me if I leave anything out. Let me know. Just fill in the gaps. Okay, here we go. So our last session was a full-on session where the one thing that we did was fight. And we fought the lizard folk. We fought them because we met, I don't exactly know his name because I think I just got into the game. We met this guy from the Grung. Do you guys know his name?
Bip-Bob.
Bip-Bob,
think
yes,
Bip-Bob,
exactly.
yeah.
We met him and we went to his folk because they were having to fight the lizard folk, and we were there and we were starting the fight, and there were so many lizard folk. We had one really important job, according to the Grung, and that was to save the red eggs, especially the gold eggs, but also the red and the blue eggs. And we failed horribly doing that. But we did save the green eggs. Yes, this was the gang leader, and he was very upset by the fact that we couldn't save the gold eggs. And yeah, wizards and stuff like that was crazy. It was crazy.
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't save the eggs that we needed to save, but we did save the green eggs. And by doing that, we changed the evolution of the Grung, of the frog people. And they were the one who made the green eggs were really happy with us. And the one whose eggs we didn't save were not particularly happy with us. So we started to make a run for it. And yeah, that was, I think, about the whole game. We had some terrible rolls in the beginning, so it was a rough fight. Oriel almost died, but almost. She still lives, and well, we're here for another day.
Yes, very good. Would anyone like to add anything?
Oh,
We
I mean,
released.
oh,
Sorry.
Sure, Maddie, why
Um,
don't you go ahead? Or
yeah.
okay, Laura's fine. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Just after we saved those green frogs, then all the eggs turned golden, and now they're really valuable. And I think we took a few of them. I don't know, but yeah, they're
Yes,
the golden ones now. And yeah.
you did take a few of them. What do you plan on doing with the golden eggs?
Well, it depends how much they're worth, right?
Yeah, I don't think we've truly decided on what we're doing with them.
For sure, Henrietta had dropped them off, or Dallin had put them down and exited.
She did. Somebody else still had
Mhm.
them, didn't they?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any.
I didn't have any.
Neither did I.
I'm not saying anything.
She took them while we were turned away. I was like, you know what?
As-
I'm just gonna take a couple of these.
As she
look
walks
expensive.
off the lily pad, you guys notice these gigantic, volleyball-sized bulges, one in each of her thigh pockets. Anybody ask her where she got her trousers that have all these wonderful pockets?
Oh, I need
it's
to know.
good information. Yeah.
And as you are heading off, you spot a gigantic pair of eyes just under the surface of some of these ginormous lily pads, and a red, sort of very mottled, almost toad-like skin head starts to appear, and you're literally just on a lily pad, sort of drifting off with the little bit of current in this part of the swamp, and moving at a decent clip without even having to walk yourselves. And you spot this creature suddenly pop up.
Yeesh.
Is it Charlie?
Oh, damn.
I mean, do you know enough about these creatures to be able to identify one particular one?
It's a spiritual connection.
Oh, I love that, Maddie.
It's a spiritual connection.
I think she needs points for that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll do you one better. I'll let you roll for your spiritual connection.
Okay. Am I rolling Arcana? I'm kidding. What am I rolling for that?
Well, so first of all, would you like to tell everybody else what you think it is? Because I think some of the folks in your party haven't actually ever seen this.
Oh, true. So he looks a lot like the Slod that we encountered in the Temple of Lolth, whose name was Charlie.
And he impregnated 3 of us.
Yes, don't let his talons go in you because it's not a good process.
Excuse me?
Yes, he will
Alright.
impregnate you with his little Slod baby. And the Slod baby will grow and then go all over your body, like depending on where it started. And then like one of our party members, it started in their shoulder, I think, and then ended up like in their chest. And like it was, and I'll even pull up like the notes and pictures that I have and show it to them, be like, yeah, it's not a good time. So don't let him talon you. But yeah, he looks a lot like the Slod that we encountered before.
Sounds like good advice for any parent for their teenage daughter going off to prom.
Mm-hmm. Don't let him. Just as I tell my kids.
Don't let him put anything on your skin or near you or in you.
Nope. Mm-mm. It's a bad decision. Do you want something like that? You don't. Trust me.
Okay, so now that you've explained the perils of teenage dating as well as slods, how would you like to determine whether or not this is the slod you know or that you've met before? Did Satina get, was she afflicted or impregnated, as you say?
Yes.
And she had it removed, right?
It was removed, yeah. And then I convinced one of the other party members to keep it to see what would happen.
I'm not going to keep it, but you be the guinea pig.
Yeah. That way I can take
And
notes.
yeah, exactly. And how do you plan on breaking this to Charlie if and when you ever meet him again?
Just say that it didn't
take.
take.
We
There were
miscarried.
complications.
Yeah. We all miscarried.
You know, with my short stature, and then I mean, just look at Cora. She's just so thin and so young. She just wasn't ready.
Oh, they didn't impregnate me.
Oh, he didn't. Okay. And then we could just say the
Uh,
other ones died because
I'm
in
blushing.
complications.
So awkward. Charlie! Charlie!
Yeah, can I
your
just call his
baby's-
name?
Your baby's gone!
Like, oh my god, I tried, and it just
No, the tide,
pause the scene.
the tide's carrying us away. Charlie! Bye!
No, Charlie, bye.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm handing her a tissue, so she
Oh,
could
thank
wipe
you.
away her cheese.
Well, I'll let you roll performance because that was very convincing.
Okay.
With advantage, in fact.
Oh fuck yeah. Performance 19.
Wow.
Wow.
19 and a 1. Oof.
Well, the red slot turns around and sees you, and he seems to be sort of cocking what you imagine would be an ear if he had a physical ear, as opposed to probably just an aperture on his skin. And he actually raises one of his claws up towards the side of his head, almost to sort of make it a bit easier to try to pick up your sound. And he then looks at you and goes, "I'll call you. We'll try again. It's okay." And he sends you some little heart-shaped images. You know, he puts his like two claws together and he gives like the heart symbol.
Mhm.
And
And dramatically we fall over a waterfall, never to be seen again.
So romantic.
And then he immediately turns around and he starts slashing one of the remaining green grung, who used to be one of the blue grung. It doesn't die, but it does crawl off bleeding. And he seems to establish himself as the new leader of this group.
Good for him. Making those moves.
Yeah. How
So
do you feel
proud.
about having that baby now? He's going up in the world.
Yeah, he's moving up.
Yeah, like he's like the Elon Musk of the grung. Sorry, Elon. Sorry, don't know why that came out. Anyhow, so he kind of is though, actually. If you think about it.
Yeah.
So where do you guys want to go now?
I think we discussed last time that we wanted to go back to town so we could take a boat, I guess, right? And I need to do some shopping, so a town would be
Yes.
great for me.
What are you shopping for again?
I need some, shopping. I just need a place for a temple,
Oh, right.
so I can fill up on some holy water.
Oh, yes. Okay, so let's see. We've got one, two. You got quite the entourage. One, two. Oh, technically, she's also. Yep. But sorry there, Laura. Didn't mean to leave you out.
Felt left out.
Anybody
All alone.
else? Yeah. I'll bring this along just in case we don't. Okay. Yes. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, may I just roll my portent really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, great. Huh, all right.
9 and 6. That's not bad. Could be worse.
Hmm.
Okay. So you guys are heading back to Port Nine Zaru. Is that what I heard?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Cool. And your plan is to what exactly?
I need to collect Salazar, who I think was at Susna's, but I could just recall him if need be.
Yeah, you could just poof him back into existence. I mean, you never know what he might be doing. He might be in the middle of something. So
last time I called him back when he was in the middle of eating eggs. He didn't forgive me for a while, if he even has.
I mean, most guys don't like being interrupted during a meal, so
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give him a few minutes before I resell him.
all right. Well, you guys start walking your way back to town, but you, without your grung companion, which is to say Bip Bop, you end up getting a little bit lost, and not surprisingly, you wander in a slightly different direction from whence you came. Get rid of Dallin's tokens since she is not with us at the moment. This part of Port Nyanzar, Chult, I should say, is completely decimated. Whatever vegetation is here is clearly rotting. The air is putrid with the smell of vegetation, swamp gas, rotting meats and fishes. Everywhere you look, there's the sign of decay, and most of the surface of the ground, and even some of the surfaces, the vertical surfaces along some of the rock structures and the trees that are, essentially dead, but their trunks or branches might still be present, are covered in the black slime. It makes the ground very slippery. You can see little animal carcasses everywhere in various states of decay. Some of them being eaten by other animals, those that eat other animals. A lot of them, birds and smaller mammals are just sort of laying there or flopping about half dead. And the whole place just reeks of complete corruption. You spot two figures. One of them appears to be a humanoid in some sort of armor, leaning up against this rock structure. He's got very clearly some sort of a terrible wound, and it's got a sword attached to the wound, which is to say, piercing him through the abdomen. And then there's this other fellow who is apparently standing over him. You can't hear what he's saying, but he seems to be maybe trying to stroke his companion, give him some comfort or something. He's rocking back and forth. He's dressed very esoterically. He's wearing some tweed outfit mixed with what appears to be some homespun wool. He's got a very full-on beard, but it's all interwoven with flowers and various fruiting berries. You can see little signs of small animals on his shoulder, in his pockets, squirrels and birds. They seem to be hunting in his pockets and coming up with nuts and berries and things. And there's even bees flying around his beard, attempting to get at some of the nectar.
He's shaped like a friend.
Okay,
Shaped
I
like a
wanna.
friend?
Mhm.
Okay.
Fair enough. I'd like to go up to this duo and introduce myself and say, "Hi, I'm Cora. Can I help you in any way?"
May I provide assistance? Stand back!
Yeah.
I'm a trained medical professional. Yeah. The one that's in armor doesn't respond, and or why don't you roll a medicine check because you're proficient in medicine, aren't you?
I am. Man, 16.
Yeah, he's gone. Like a
Oh,
red shirt, like a Star Trek red shirt. But
I'm
the other
gonna ask
one,
the other
yeah.
ones. What happened here?
Oh, my friend. Oh, it's such a sad moment in my life. We barely really got on the road and we ran into these horrible beasts. Oh,
What
oh,
what beast did you run
oh,
into?
oh, some skeletons and some kind of whites, and I don't know, they're horrible, horrible creatures.
And are you all right?
Lord. I seem to have lost my ability to cast spells. I can't do anything to help him or myself, and I must get back to the druid and report on this horrible tragedy, this environmental disaster.
So where are you heading?
I'm from the Sword Coast, much further north.
And you're going to where? To
The
see who?
Sword Coast, the druid, the arch-druid.
And as he's
Okay.
speaking, you notice that his teeth are completely yellow. They're rotting. Some of his teeth are missing. He's got terrible halitosis. And of course, although you're far too polite to mention it, the fact that he has this horrible combination of a lisp and another speech impediment, rhoticism, means that he's basically spraying you with saliva.
Yeah, I've moved back.
He comes
The range
closer
on
to
that
you.
spray.
Yeah, it's like acid spray.
What are you good people doing here?
We're trying to get to Port Nine Saru.
Oh, yes, that's where I came in, but, oh, this is terrible, terrible indeed. What a tragedy.
Can you point us in the direction of Port Nine Saru? We seem to be a little lost.
And he points north.
That way. But you couldn't possibly see a way to helping a poor old druid in distress.
What do you need?
Oh, you see. Well, I'm a bit ashamed to say, but I must find out what is the cause of all of this terrible mold, and report back. I must understand not only the source, but how to stop it. And I believe I may be able to do so. But first, I must recover a magical item that was taken from me.
What's the item?
The Wing of Tooth.
The
you
Wing
hear-
of Tooth.
You hear a ding in the distance.
Yes, the Wing of Tooth. With the Wing of Tooth, we may divine the true nature of what is going on here. But I must have it back first.
So who took it?
Oh, a pack of evil, smelly hill giants.
And the fact that he smells quite bad himself seems to be completely lost on him.
So where are these hill giants?
Oh, they're very, very near. They're just past the Blight and somewhere over by the bridge. It's a beautiful setting if you were into that kind of thing. Of course, as a druid I am, but I don't play favorites. But I don't think the rest of you could handle them. They're very, very large and quite numerous. And did I mention smelly? Very smelly.
How many of them are there?
There are 4, 5. I think it was 4 or 5. But they're very, very powerful. They could crush a man with one blow, or a woman.
I'm going to wander back to the party and say, what do you think, guys? You want to carry on to Port Nine Saru, or do you want to go to...
Just leave this poor dude here.
or do you want to go and search out these hill giants?
Ultimate goal is to find out the source and help with the black mold, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, we're kind of awesome, so I think we could take them.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
I would
it's
Always punch a
impossible.
hill giant. I'd love to pinch a hill giant.
It's
Yeah.
impossible, I tell you. It's impossible.
And he sprays all of you,
Oh,
Yeah, not
That's-
for us.
especially anybody who's shorter than sort of 5'8".
Ooh,
You're getting the full treatment.
oh gosh.
Thanks.
Okay.
It's up. Look, I'm not without certain resources myself if I were at full power, and I tell you, he was able to destroy us My poor friend, look at them. It is not reasonable to expect strangers to put themselves in such risk. But I
Well,
may
you're
have a solution.
Go on.
There may be a method. Rather than use might, I suggest we use cunning.
Go on.
Well, I cannot cast spells myself, and I am not terribly familiar with the area. However, I have recently met some very nice old ladies living in the swamp. Not very far. They seem to know the swamp well and perhaps even have access to some magic. You may ask them for a boon, and perhaps they will help. It is in their own best interest, considering the danger and the harassment they must endure from these hill giants. And did I mention how smelly they are?
I think you did, yeah.
It's
So where are
terrible.
these? Where are these
Terrible.
ladies?
It's like
Where
they
are these
bathe in
ladies of the
garlic.
swamp?
He just keeps interrupting you.
It's awful, awful, terrible. Like onion garlic soup
So where are these ladies?
in feet.
In what?
Like if you were making wine out of onion soup with rusting feet.
Okay. Enough about the smell of the giants, dude. If you want our help, where are these ladies?
And he sticks out a very nasty, dirty, long finger with crud under the fingernails and points.
That's the way. It's a little old house surrounded by a bit of water and some rather tastefully decorated skeleton bones. You can't miss it.
Will
I'm
you
gonna
guide
turn
us?
around.
It's literally just over there. You
Well,
don't need guidance. I'm telling
but
you.
I mean, it'd be nice to have another hand on deck.
I must deal with my friend. My friend and I journeyed many miles. Though I barely knew him, I understood his name was Bob, and Bob deserves a burial.
I mean, what if these ladies could turn him into some tasteful decor? And then Bob could live on.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy, I say!
And he gets very agitated and spits twice as much on
Sorry,
everybody as he did
sorry.
before.
I thought it was a
How
good
dare
idea.
you? This is horrible! How could you mistreat somebody who gave his life in service to the greater good of nature?
Well, I
Have
mean,
you no
you
heart?
see it as mistreating. I see it as resourcing.
So
Look,
as this conversation is going on,
I am a fan of recycling as much as the next man, but this is getting a bit too far.
That's understandable.
And as he gets more and more agitated, like he shakes his head and his face a lot, and the flowers start to shake, which of course makes the bees shake. And then the bees get disturbed and they start swarming around him a little bit. And every
Oh,
time he
gosh.
comes near you, everybody has to roll a percentile die for a possibility of being stung by a bee. Anybody here in the
gosh.
party? The barbarian like backs off. The
Sneakily.
tough barbarian with damage resistance backs off.
Yeah, not to bees. I hate bees. They really
Anybody?
bother me.
Anybody allergic to bees?
Nope.
Nope.
Cud is like, bees, no, not bees.
Oh yeah.
And he starts running off. No, no more bees. Cud has enough
Cud!
bees.
All right, let's take a minute. Guys, I'm sorry. Can you help?
well, as this conversation is going on, I'm gonna get a little closer to the group and I'm gonna ask, so is it me or why are we doing this? And he's talking about this house with these two old ladies. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound good at all. It sounds like a trap.
Yeah, but we're good at walking into those.
Yeah, and we're good at getting out of them. So, and plus, it's always fun.
Only
usually
the
have to
An old
paranoid
lady?
survive.
Only the paranoid survive. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, but what's in it for us? I screamed to the bearded blossomy guy.
Well, only your very survival. Look around. If this mold can do this much damage to one of the most fertile parts of Earth, imagine what would happen if it was able to spread across all of Faerun or Karatura. It would be disastrous. It would mean the end of all life. Do you consider yourself on the side of the living?
And he leans in and takes off his glasses and looks very sternly at you.
Well, yeah. Of course.
Then you should look out for your own best interest.
As he keeps spraying all over you.
You have everything to lose and nothing to gain by not helping. It is in your best interest, and ultimately we will all have to deal with it one way or the other. We will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them in the hills.
Hilarious.
What's that sound?
Well, I say we just head over. We're good at
Be
this.
very,
We'll
very
go and
quiet.
talk to
I
them.
hear something.
Oh. Oh gosh.
Be very, very quiet. Oh, nothing. Never mind. I thought I heard the wabbit.
Huh?
That wascally wabbit.
Yes, you saw him too. This is why I must bury Bob. Otherwise, the wabbit will probably eat him.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You want to go to the house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything to get away from this dude and his spit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fair. And it's bees.
Well, yeah, that too.
Right. I'm
Very
going where
good.
you're going.
Remember, you must bring back the Wing of Tooth. The Wing of Tooth will allow me to cast the spells necessary to find the answer. And with that, we will be able to move forward and perhaps take a step toward ending this terrible blight on the land.
Okay. We'll see you soon.
Ciao!
And he runs back to Bob.
So if we're getting close to the cave, can I pull up Detect Evil and Good?
Sure. Actually, I just realized Hermfaxi is going to be hanging out with Dallin. So you won't have access to Hermfaxi either. Yeah. As you start moving down, so does nobody go after Cud?
I'm gonna call after him. Tell him that we're leaving.
Bees!
They're gonna be back there. Come on.
Bees!
We're going away from the bees. Come on, dude, follow us.
Mm,
There's
everybody
more
can try
bees out in the
persuasion.
wilderness.
Everybody can try persuasion except for Satina, who's actually trying deception.
What? There are bees in the wilderness.
Not around here, there aren't.
Oh man.
Oh, my bad. That's a one.
Yeah. Oh, he starts to reluctantly trundle back, although steering well clear of the crazy druid. Who
That's fair.
nobody bothered to ask him his name, but that's okay. That's fine.
Crazy druid.
Yeah.
What's everybody's passive perception?
Not great. 11.
11.
Yeah, 11.
15.
Okay. Cora spots hanging out on a tree nearby one of the few things that doesn't look like it's just dying.
Hmm.
What
This
is
is it appears at first glance to be a raven, but it's clearly made of metal. Some of it is rusted, some of it is reflecting, glinting even in the sunlight. And it seems to be staring directly at the party, in the way that ravens do, side-eyed. Clearly was able to overhear most of the conversation you would expect if it were interested in doing so.
So they'll know we're coming.
What was that?
So they'll know we're coming. If that's their raven. I hope it is. I hope they know we're coming. They don't know our power. So
Feel
where
the-
is the house?
Feel the power of this fully operational Death Star.
Imagine if Grand Moff Tarkin had a lisp. That would have been so different. Such a different movie. All right. What were you saying?
Is the house down at the bottom of the map?
Yes. Are you yawning? Am I putting you to sleep?
No. No.
I won't be offended. I promise.
Very cold in my
So-
house. Makes me yawn.
Cold.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, I love
so
it.
A bit
So
further
cute.
down, there's a little alcove of
Not the cat.
water that's got that doesn't seem terribly affected by all the blight, oddly enough. As you can see, there's a little bit of living material. The raven at this point sort of flies off.
Caw, caw. That's what they say. Yes, they say caw. Right? Yes, that's it.
And it just keeps flying. But it goes away from the house, so it's not headed. It seems to be heading north, and disappears.
Interesting.
No, you guys are back with Cud. The gangs all together, and this is where it is located.
Okay.
Little
Should we
spit
just,
of
like-
land.
Should we run up in there, or should we like approach cautiously, or like how are we doing this?
I don't know.
Guns
pizza.
blazing.
Guns
No,
blazing.
I think we just go up and knock on the door.
Yeah.
That's my
Alright.
plan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Knock
Let's do
on the
this.
door. Just go up and knock on the door. Yeah. Whatever went wrong doing that?
Best to be direct.
Well, it wasn't as bad as going in guns blazing, to be fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, we're
I
not going to
mean-
murder hobo these witches.
Yeah. I mean, we
Well,
kind
who
of want
said
them
they're
on our
witches?
side, so
they're just old ladies.
some old
Oh,
ladies.
sorry.
We need the old ladies on
Yeah.
our side.
Right.
We want their help, and we can help
Mhm.
them. So,
Mhm.
you know.
Not that I'm measuring out
True.
distances for any particular reason, but where do you guys want to stand when you start knocking on the door?
Oh gosh. Ooh, I can mage
So
hand and knock
why-
on the door.
I was going to say, can we
Mage
mage
hand it.
hand?
Mhm.
Absolutely can. How far is mage hand? I'm gonna stand all the way back here. It's only 30 feet.
So maybe we can huddle up near the tree. So maybe we have some cover.
I don't know if I want to be that close to the tree.
We could hide behind this rock right here.
Yeah, that
Or at
seems
least
a bit
some of us
more,
can.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, so I know it's not entirely obvious, but all of this is kind of fog and water.
Hmm. Okay, so we don't want to stand in the water.
Yeah, so that's just, I mean, you can. I'm just making sure you guys are aware. This is basically
Mhm.
surrounded by water. Okay.
So we can stand over here on this like cliff thingy. Is that water?
Yeah, this
it's
is
right here?
all of this is land. All of this is land, right?
Okay. So the water starts like right about
Yeah,
here-ish?
exactly. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And here by the tree, is that also water or is it dry land?
So it's a swamp. There's bits of water here and there, little pockets. But the area that's really kind of clearly a larger body of water is, as I pointed out earlier, this sort of area. Okay. With the
Okay.
exception of this, this house is literally, or this little hut, if you want to call it that, is literally propped up on a stone.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Do y'all want to go like over here? Oh, I forgot to turn my thing back on.
I don't think I want to be that close to the trees. I have a feeling about these trees.
Well, my mage hand won't reach from back here. So if you want to swim, you can swim.
Well, you know, I might just sort of go. I think I might just split the group up just a tiny bit, and I'll just sort of stand here because I'm not in the water, right?
So I'll knock and
Uh,
you wave.
Yeah, you're not in the
I'll
water
knock.
there.
Yeah, I'll wave and look friendly.
I'll be joining you, so my detect magic can also detect evil and good can also get a glimpse of the house.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so let's just get an order of operations here. So who's doing what? Your Sabrina Ariel's casting Detect Evil and Good.
Mhm.
Looks like Byleth, Laura, you've positioned Byleth right at the front ranks, ready to go full combat if necessary, as well as Satina, the two wizards up front. That's how we like to see it.
Oh,
And I think that's
Violet's back there.
Ariel, isn't it? Yeah, I'm still back
Yeah.
there, but I was about to move here.
Oh, sorry, that's Ariel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, the lowest armor class in the front. That usually is the.
Woo woo.
We don't know that we're gonna get attacked. I don't know.
Oh, I should put my
Maybe
mage
they
armor on.
have tea.
That's true. That's
What?
absolutely true. There's absolutely no reason to assume that you're going to get attacked.
Except for we know Al.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Hence my tree aversion.
No, never.
Well, at least there's no books.
Well,
I'm
Yeah,
I'm a little bit hurt, honestly.
hmm
Well, just to be sure, I have my shield up.
Okay.
I put
yeah,
on my
let's-
mage armor
right.
and created my
me
little
too.
hula hoop.
Yeah, you don't look intimidating at all of you, like cocking guns, like.
You just got to be prepared, you know?
Pulling grenades out,
Oh, yeah.
Anybody
Be
want to
like,
say
this is
anything?
just a precaution.
Yeah, where do you guys want Cud to stand?
I think over there.
Over
Like over in this area?
where? Over here? Okay, right.
Over by Cora and Cracker.
Yeah, because everybody loves seeing a gigantic 10-foot tall horned monster wielding a giant battle axe at their front doorstep. Okay.
True.
Cool.
We're far
Is
away.
that good with everybody? Can we move him away?
We're not like right in their face.
Yeah. It's a little better.
Just have him stand back there.
Okay. At least somebody will survive.
And I'm gonna look to the party, be like, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this?
Thumbs up.
Let's do this.
And I'm gonna mage hand a knock on the door.
Okay. Do you do anything else? Do you say anything?
Go, hello? Anybody home?
we need your help.
Who is it?
Just a group of friendly travelers that
Yeah.
require your help.
The druid sent us.
Oh, the druid. Oh, yes.
And you see a little lady sort of pop her head out the door. And she looks cautiously around the door frame.
Oh,
She don't
my,
look creepy at all.
don't we have a lovely group of adventurers? What are you all doing out here in the swamp on this fine day?
Well, we were trying to get back to the port, but we came across the druid, and he wants our help to get something back from the hill giants, and he said you might be able to help us.
Oh, yes, they're terribly smelly. Have you smelled them? They're absolutely awful.
He told us
So
that too.
Peg would be useful then, yeah?
Yes, at least one or two. You might even want to stuff some cotton up there if you had some. Milk thistle works, but it is a bit itchy.
Keep that in mind.
How can you help us?
I thought I just did. I told you, use milk thistle.
I meant against the hill giants.
Oh, you should have spoken up and made yourself a bit more clear. Yes, well, the hill giants, well, they're very, very big and smelly. I don't know. What do you think you should do? I mean, do you intend to attack them? You do have a bit of a brute back there yourselves. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm not sure the rest of you look like you're up for a big fight.
We could take them.
Oh, we could surprise you. Yeah, we'd surprise you.
But if we weren't able to take them, what would be the best way to go about it? He said there were about 4 or 5 of them.
Oh, I don't know. We try not to get too close to them. They're very hungry. They tend to eat everything.
He said that
So,
they have. Go ahead.
so who are you? What's your name?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, my name is Millie.
Millie.
Yes.
And do you live alone?
No. I'm not sure why that's any business of yours, though. What an odd question.
Well,
Do you?
the well, I guess it was something that the druid said. There were 2 of you, I guess. So I'm just
Well,
wondering.
technically there are 3 of us. There's myself, Millie, at your service, and then there's my sister, Vanilli, and our third sister, Lip Sync.
All right. Well, hi.
Hi! Yes, I think we've already introduced ourselves. I don't think this one's got it all there, has she? Yeah, she seems a little bit out of it. Hello. Remember I told you Milk Thistle. Milk Thistle.
The druid said something about a boon, that you might have some magic to help us.
Oh, you're in the market for magic. Yes, we can certainly help you with that.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes, it would. And what do you have to trade?
Well, what would you like
Mm.
and what are you offering?
Well, I suppose what you really want is a solution.
Okay, a solution.
Why do you want to confront the hill giants?
They have stolen something from the druids. And he
Oh,
wants it
have
back.
they now? Oh,
And then you hear a bit of chittering and chattering behind the door.
interesting. And what did they steal?
The wing of tooth?
A wing of tooth?
That's what I heard.
What I
Do you think
heard
it
too.
might be the wing of truth
The
Mm,
wing of
with an
truth?
R?
maybe.
Are you sure it's a wing? As in a bird's wing? Why would a druid have a
Well,
bird? Well, I suppose a druid
maybe
could have a bird's wing.
maybe it's the ring.
Yes, he does speak. He does have a bit of a funny speech impediment, doesn't he? He's a very clever fellow, but he does have a bit of a weird speech. Yes, it could be a ring. Yeah, well, anything's possible. You never know about those druids. They're all a bit weird.
Hmm.
Well, it could be the wing of tooth, the ring of truth. Who knows? What did he say he needed it for?
Well, to
He
solve the problem that's happening here. And I look around and I point at all the slimy grossness and dying vegetation.
So he wants to get to the truth of the matter, then. Well, perhaps that's your answer.
Mhm.
I think it would be helpful to know what you're looking for if you're trying to steal something back. Don't you? You might
Yes.
you might be there quite a long time if you're looking for a wing of truth and it turns out to be the ring of truth.
Yeah, I'm
I
glad
don't
we had
think
this
any of
talk.
them I don't think any of them got their act together. They do seem a little bit unprepared.
And that's why we need your help.
Yes, obviously. So, you need a solution. The first thing you should do is find out what it is you're looking for. I would have thought that's the first step. The next step is, how does one acquire such an item? Surely you do not intend to attack them. Although, if you did, we would be most grateful.
Can you give us any kind of magic to help with that?
No, I don't know that we could help you in that kind of capacity. It's a little bit outside our normal ken. We're more of the sort of, you come to us if you've got a headache kind of a solution. Or if it's that time of the month and your tummy feels a bit painful or distended. We could. Ooh, what do you think about this, Vanilli? Oh, yes, I agree. Oh, lip sync, oh, stop it. You always just repeat whatever Vanilli says. Now, if you could get yourselves close enough, perhaps, and I say only perhaps, you might succeed with cunning where brute force would fail.
Um,
Although I don't know about that one back there. I'm not sure he's got much cunning anyway.
And at this, Cud, who's just close enough to hear, kind of moos in protest.
See? Point proven.
So, can you help us with being more cunning? Do you maybe have some tips or some items that we can use?
Well,
Surely you look
we.
like a wise woman.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere. Yes, I like you.
And she sort of closes her eyes and looks away and waves her hand. But she obviously is very, very pleased by it.
Oh, you're so charming. Well, we do have a bit of magic. We could, for example, turn some of you into animals. And I think
Ooh.
animals would be a little bit less conspicuous. What did you say? Little ones, that is. I don't mean these big thundering ones that seem to be running through the jungle all day and night. You want little ones like mice and cats and birds and snakes and voles and whatever else. Whatever else is beneath the notice of something as large, brutish, and smelly as a hungry hill giant. You don't want to look like a dinner meal, and you don't want to look like a threat. Wouldn't you agree?
How long would that last if we were to take you up on that?
Oh, what do you think? Yeah. Oh, no, that's impossible. I'd say an hour.
An hour?
We'd have to
Okay.
maintain our concentration, and we would do so from here. So you would have to factor in travel time. But they aren't very far.
What do you
You know
think,
where
guys?
they are.
Oh, they're just over the hill yonder. The blight ends at the end of the bowl. Once you get over the berm, there's pretty much it's all green grasses and jungle and all the usual things. Yes, it's very unfortunate. If only it had ended just on the other side over there, we'd be unaffected, and our property values would have been just fine. No, that's all right. We weren't selling anyway. We quite like it here, don't we? Yes, we do, girls. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, stop it! Lip sync, you always just repeat everything I say. Stop it.
Are we going to
What
go for
is-
this, guys?
Yeah, but what
I
is
think
the
so.
price?
Oh,
That's the question.
yes. Well, such powerful magics as you can imagine take quite the toll on us. We're not spry chickens after all. And as you can see,
And she gestures expansively around her.
we are not in the best position ourselves, so we could use a bit of assistance of our own. Perhaps you could contribute something that we could trade with someone else for sustenance, for support, for something that would get us through those lean winter months, or whatever comes next. I'm talking magic items!
Hmm.
She seems almost exasperated by the lack of insight.
So, can I whisper to Satina, well, I've got one of those eggs from the grung. You think that's any good?
I mean, it's worth a shot. I think they're valuable, but I don't know if they're magic.
Yeah, I do need some money, so I'm gonna shut up for now.
Could we approach?
Well, if you don't mind getting your feet wet, yeah. And I don't see him anywhere.
And she peers out over the edge.
It looks safe.
See
You don't
who?
see who?
No, you'll know it when you see it.
Oh, good. Okay. We're gonna have a little meeting real quick, and then we'll come over. Is that okay?
Yes, take your time. We'll be here.
Okay.
We're just making
All
some
right.
soup.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So I'm gonna walk over to these guys over here. I think we should take stock of what we have and what we have to offer.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Okay.
let's see.
Well, the only magical items I have are my boots and my shield.
I have my Helm of the Gods. I'm also looking in our journal. I also have the Quill of Never-Ending Ink. I don't know if that's
Oh,
technically a magical item.
It
I'd hang
is a
on to
magical
that.
item.
Very cool. I have that as well. Let's see.
Um, I mean, I have gold pieces, but she did ask for magical items.
Mm-hmm. We have a +1 great axe in the inventory.
Oh, I think I have that.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I should take it off there.
Well, instead of removing it from the inventory, just write in parentheses given to Cracker.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we know where the +1 great axe came from.
I forgot that we gave Cullen's girlfriend the shoes. Or did we give them to her or did we get them from her? I think we got them from her. So we have those shoes that'll change your footprints.
Those were traded away, weren't they?
Yeah,
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to update that. Okay.
So, what's the quill all about? Maybe we can say something about getting their brilliant thoughts out on paper so they can distribute it all over once we, of course, take care of these, these surroundings that they're in right now. I mean, that's a plus, also, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a cool little thing. It just never runs out of ink, as far as I know. So it's pretty neat. Um,
Yeah, in fairness, it is definitely useful, but it is, as Maddie's saying, literally, this is neat.
yeah, it's not powerful. It might not be worth a ton.
You don't feel like it's the kind of thing that's going to, change the
Pique
world
their
order.
interest.
Well, whether or not it piques their interest is something you'll have to uncover on your own if you try. But it's
Mhm.
not like an obvious artifact that's going to, start wars or.
We could try that, and then if all else fails, I can give her my helm. I love this helm, but I mean, it would be nice to become an animal to get what we need done without brute force.
Well, let's try. Let's see what they say.
Unless anybody has any other things that are not my helm.
So what do you
No.
guys what are you guys planning to offer then?
Start with the quill, see if she finds any interest in that. And if she's like, nah, this is not at all what I want or what I need, then I'll be like, okay. And I'll take off my helm and present it to her.
Oh, but before you do that, maybe we can
Mhm.
also offer the fact that we actually are helping them out as well. So these nasty surroundings, this environment we're trying to fix it, right? So
Increase the property
that should
value.
be, yeah, exactly.
In case they do want to sell and move to another part of the jungle and buy a little bit bigger of a cabin for her and her sisters. So you could have your space,
Yeah.
You're pretty sure they didn't actually pay anybody for this little piece of land.
Yeah.
They talk about you guys not being all together there, but they're clearly eccentric.
Clearly.
So let's start with that idea. And see how it goes.
Sounds good.
All right, who wants to lead this?
Have you decided?
Yeah, it's just a
You
moment.
go ahead, Maddie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Whew,
I'll,
whew. Should have been a bard.
I'll join you because I think she found me charming. So maybe I can help out a
Yeah.
little bit.
Good idea. Good idea. All right, so start to wade towards the shack. This cute little bungalow. Choop.
Are we
Hopefully,
going
it
into
don't
the
get
water?
eaten on the way. Yeah. No. How else are we gonna get there?
Well, I'm not going into the water. I'm trying to go like over land.
There's no land bridge really.
Oh. Well, then I just joined Satina.
Okay. Whew. All right. We have.
Uh,
Go ahead.
yeah. No. Okay. So, yeah. So she goes,
Oh, right. There you are. Did you want some soup?
Oh, what kind?
What have we got today? It's water.
Oh,
Water soup.
water soup. Okay. Sure. I would love a cup.
and she hands you a bowl of what seems to be a steaming liquid.
I'm gonna drink it.
I'm gonna pour it beside me.
What do you mean pour it beside you?
Secretly. Secretly. I'll just like secretly behind the back of Satina, I'm like ditching it to the ground.
Make sure not to burn my cloak.
All right. Well, you're doing a what do you think that is there, Sabrina? Deception, performance?
Is it a sleight of
Sleight of
hand?
hand.
Oh, okay. Are you proficient in sleight of hand? Is that why you're asking?
Well, no, it was more like maybe it's a sleight of hand kind of action, if you want to
Sure.
secretly pour something down.
Okay. But you're pretending to, are you actually just sort of pouring it, or are you pretending to consume it?
Well, I take it and then I just take a step behind Satina, so I'm halfway covered behind Satina, and then I just turn my face away, like acting like I do it, but I just pour it beside me. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you'd like to roll. Deception, sleight of hand, that's fine.
Let's go for sleight of hand.
It's probably the same for you.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
Ah,
very nice.
Mm.
Yeah, so she and you obviously Maddie, Satina drinks it.
Mhm.
Now, of course, as Ariel drinks it, or fakes drinks it, and then pours it out, there is the sound of water actually pouring into the water.
I just stamp my
And she
feet a
goes,
little bit with it.
and she goes,
Oh
It's quite
dear.
wetty.
You're, are you having a bit of an incontinent day? Well, we've got some of those. Just put some milk thistle in there. They're a bit prickly, but it'll work. I promise you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's a bit weird here.
It'll soak it all up. It's fine. It's you have to do some exercises. They're called kegels.
Well, thank you, Millie. You're such a wise woman.
I
How does
know,
the-
I know. Well, you get on in years and you learn a trick or two. I've got 5 of them up there now.
Oh. So.
Satina, you drink the water soup, and it's just literally warm water.
Delicious.
There's like a little bit of mud in it, and that's about it.
Aw.
Oh, it's got a
Good
little.
for the immune system.
Yeah.
Getting
Got
stronger.
a little taste to it, doesn't it? It's
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah, it's a bit
Um,
minerally. There's a little bit of sliminess and saltiness wherever that comes from.
you should market this.
You think so?
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
well, we hadn't thought of it, but well, we'll see how we get on later. If you survive, then we can definitely discuss it.
yeah, sure. So back to the point at hand. So, okay. You want to go
You
ahead?
got this?
Just trying to
I
think of a
think
way to
you-
phrase it.
I think people are
That
still
doesn't-
trying to get over the milk thistle.
We're still
Just trying to think of a way to
processing.
phrase it that isn't like, hey, you should give us a reward without us giving you anything, or a trade without us giving you anything in return.
What?
so-
You don't want to give us
No,
anything for
no,
it?
no, no, no. That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're
That's
saying.
not very nice. That's after I offered
No.
you soup
Oh, very good soup.
and all that good advice about milk thistle.
So, Millie, as I see Satina struggling a little bit finding the right words, I step forward, trying to think of the fact that she found me charming, so maybe I could be of help. So, Millie, Vanilli, lip sync. Hi. My name is Ariel. And we were wondering, we talked about it with our group, and well, you have already given us a little bit of tips and wise words. So we were thinking these wise words should be never go useless, and never it should be forever available to not only you three and not only visitors who come around just like us, but actually for everyone. I think that would be great to capture your wise words of these three wise women forever. So in the matter of that light, we were thinking about the following.
Oh,
And then
yes, it's a wonderful idea. We'll take him. Yes, he can stay and be our scribe. Come along, big fellow.
And she
What?
waves over at Cud.
Oh, that's actually not
And
what
Cud
we're
goes,
offering.
"Ooh."
No, he doesn't write very well, so it wouldn't be very good. It'd only be able for people of his kind to read it. But
Cud goes,
you
"Moo!
speak.
Moo!
Shut up, Cud.
There will be
Oh.
much tea to pay."
Cud, take a second, okay? So, you speak common. I assume you write common, right?
I wouldn't call myself common, but suppose you could.
it's not, no. You're very special.
Of course. But we have this quill, right? It was given to me way back, and it never runs out of ink. So you could write all of your notes, your tips,
Brilliant
everything,
ideas.
and
Recipes of
make them
soup.
your recipes of
Sorry.
soup, exactly. And you could use it and you could spread it to the world. You could become infamous for your knowledge, and you and your sisters. Your shack is lovely. Your home is absolutely lovely. I love the bone structuring. It just looks very very nice. It's actually impressive how the mold hasn't gotten here. Maybe it's the water. I don't know.
It's the milk
Actually, I'd like to
thistle.
ask you more. It's the milk thistle, really?
Yes.
And Satina's gonna start writing with the quill. Like that's awesome. I'm gonna.
You see, when we empty our bowels, we just pour it out
Mhm.
into the water,
Oh, that's
and
efficient.
then we make soup out of that water, and that's how we recycle the milk thistle.
Oh, okay. I see. See, that would be a revolutionary thing to put into words to pass on to the rest of the world that doesn't know the importance of milk thistle.
I don't know that they really want to know the recipe of the soup we make, though.
Well, maybe.
To be honest, I was a
but
bit surprised you liked it.
well, I'm kind of an acquired taste.
Well,
Um.
I wouldn't know about that.
So what we have to offer is this quill of never-ending ink, if you would accept that.
Oh, I see. That was all a lead up to a crap piece of magical equipment. No, thank you. You
Well, I
have
wouldn't
all
call it
taken
crap.
classes in public relations and marketing, I can tell. Well done, you. But no, not interested.
All right,
These are
that's
high-level magical spells, and they'll take quite a lot out of us. Plus, they require some spell components that are increasingly rare because of the condition of the land.
And she gestures
Of course.
expansively again.
We would not be able to replace them anytime soon, and certainly we're not without risk. So you will have to do better than that.
Right, so Millie, what do you need? How can we be of service to you?
Well,
Let's just
as I
be
said,
honest here.
something valuable that we can trade to somebody who actually wants it and that will be able to use to acquire the things we actually need. I doubt you have what we need.
Well, what do you need?
Ask her what she needs. Yeah, there you go.
To be honest with you, we need an artifact. It's a golden skull, and it is very valuable and quite powerful. Unless any of you have one of those,
And she looks and peers into what feels like your soul, especially the two of you standing near her.
no. I can see that neither of you do. And in fact, I can see from your reaction that you haven't even heard of it. So I don't think you've got what it takes. No offense intended. But if
All
you
right.
have something more valuable, then we could potentially trade it for something else. Perhaps sweeten a deal with another service to someone who has such an artifact. But I'm afraid this little feather, which is very nice and is a wonderful toy for your children, simply won't do.
That's understandable. And with a sad look, Satina will take the helm off of her head and
But
present it.
before she does that,
Mhm.
Oriel gets a little bit impatient.
Oh
And,
gosh. Oh Lord.
and she's going to say,
Roll initiative.
no, she's just going to say, well, Millie, look, okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. We don't have time for this, okay? And if I'm actually being really honest with you, we're also trying to do some stuff with this environment to make it a lot better for you three. So, risking our lives and stuff like that. So maybe you can cut us some slack. And, we can help each other out.
Once we restore the environment, you'll be able to get the resources that you need, since you can't hear because it's become desolate.
Okay, so that feels like intimidation. Oriel, Sabrina, you can roll intimidation with advantage because Satina's helping you.
All right.
But I'm going to warn you, intimidation may not work, and intimidation usually backfires. So if it doesn't work, you understand that intimidation has a negative impact.
Well, here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so just remember, a natural 20 isn't necessarily a guaranteed success either. But you did roll high, so we will set various DCs. Just because you rolled the maximum possible, which you didn't, but if you did roll the maximum possible, that doesn't necessarily mean you did succeed. It just means that in theory, it was possible for someone to have succeeded.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I just want to explain the rules before we go into the next bit.
Roll
And
initiative. No.
she looks at you and says, "How dare you?"
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Aw.
Oh, this isn't good.
Damn it, Ariel.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But it were
And-
two 19s.
It was two 19s. It
Hey, look, there's
was.
a third one.
Consequence.
You tried really hard. And you know what? You kind of almost were there. You kind of almost were there. And suddenly her
Shit.
visage changes and her two sisters come out. And they look very different than they did a moment ago.
Oh my god.
Oh, this ain't good.
You
Which one
enter
is
our
Millie?
swamp and you threaten us. You are nothing but insects to be squashed under our feet. You will do as we say, or you will all die here, and no one will ever know of your existence.
We're missing one person, probably
Yeah, I rolled.
reasonably cowering behind a rock.
Did you click your token?
I rolled.
You have to click your
Yeah,
token
well-
and then make sure. Try it again and then just adjust it. It's fine.
I
Who wants to
rolled a
roll for
natural
Cud?
20.
Maddie, do you want to roll for Cood if you want to use him? And we'll have Millie, and lip sync.
I rolled a natural 20 on the first roll, though.
No,
So-
it's fine. You can use it. It's fine. Just make sure that it's there. It's fine. So you got a 21.
No,
Fair
I
enough.
got a 19 because I got a -1 for
Oh,
initiative.
you got a 19. Okay. All right. So Byleth
Cud
goes
got a
first,
1.
and Satina goes. Cud got a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cud is still. First of all, he's way out there, and secondly, he's still pissed off about the insults.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, do you want to roll for our three friends?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, it's fine. Just one. We'll just have them go together. That's fine.
Oh, okay,
That's no problem.
sure.
So I'm actually going to change Oriel to 18 so we don't have any confusion. Satina's going to go first because Oriel's a little bit slow. All right, cool. So Byleth, you see that this is happening. These three are basically, let me just put them in the right position. And actually, let me change the image. All right. What a shame. You're so close. All right, Byleth, you see that they have completely transformed. They're clearly not what they appeared to be originally. They're not even human looking, to be honest with you, although they have a vaguely humanoid appearance. What does Byleth want to do?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm just gonna look at Satina and at Oriel, and I'm like, what the fuck did you do? I'm really kind of scared actually. But I mean, they seem to be evil to her. I mean, I don't know. She didn't really get all of that, but I think she's just going to cast yeah, magic missile and all of the three. So phew.
So just to be clear, who are you targeting? One
All the
one for
three.
each of them?
Yes.
Okay. So which one is getting which? Okay. Because you're doing different damage to different ones, right?
Yeah. This one, wait. This one is getting 3 and the other are getting 4.
Okay. So if it could just, if possible, it would be super helpful before you actually roll, and this is for Maddie as well. When you're casting magic missile, just to outline who's getting how many missiles, and then roll specifically for that attack for that person, just in case. At the moment, it doesn't matter too much, but as we get further and further into a combat, the difference between a roll for one person versus another could mean you end that combatant. Cool. Yeah. So the three strike, one each to each of them, and they all shout out,
Treachery! You shall go in the pot last.
Oh God.
Satina Fizzle.
I'm going to cast Burning Hands. So it should hit all 3 of them.
Yeah, just post it.
Here. So it's a 15-foot cone.
Yep.
Okay. And it's a DC 14. Do you want me to roll 3 or just 1?
No, do all 3.
All 3? Okay.
Well, some of them might
5,
save,
15,
some of them might not,
15.
right? Yeah. Okay, so half damage if they, as part of the spell. Of course, you don't really know what they can do. Okay. So. All right. Ariel Stormwind. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Did you want to do anything else? Were you moving?
Yeah, I wanted to move.
Okay. Sorry.
So 25 will get me to that rock. So you?
Not through the water. Did you measure that?
Through the water?
Yeah.
Is that
so
half?
Yeah.
Alright, so maybe 10 or 15?
So we'll call it 15.
15? Okay. So that'll be right about there.
Yep.
Okay. And that's it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Ariel, the instigator.
So I'm just gonna hold my shield up, and I'm gonna spend my action saying,
Not the face.
saying, no, this is not what I meant. No, please.
After 2 of your party members have already attacked with spells.
Eyes to the blind would be your
Trying to settle down the
It would be the most beautiful thing that they ever have seen.
Party members have attacked them already. It's
It
going to be
would
an
cause such
uphill battle.
surprise, it would make all of
you
their
can roll.
minds
What do
electric.
you think? Persuasion?
How could anyone tell them that some things are
Now,
not what
again,
they see?
Is this something that's possible? It's possible. Is it something that would happen?
Disbelieve, I thought I was asleep when I met you.
Well, it happened the first time, so let's roll.
My heart was fine
genocide. Oh, this must be a
I'm sorry.
Let's set the alarm and sleep on. Don't remind me. I'd rather be dreaming of someone.
I am going to move a little bit away.
I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay put. Trying to. No, I'm still gonna move. Yeah. Trying to follow Satina.
Okay, what's your movement?
30 feet.
So you can get
Not touching the lines for a point. Well, you've probably missed it. There was never anything there. They never strayed.
Here we go. Maybe it's going to move out. Just to get 3 of you. And rips out.
Oh boy.
I'd like to cast Absorb Elements.
Yes, you can do that as an action, for sure.
Slide.
35.
Isn't that what?
So, everybody rolls a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, actually, with my danger sense, I have a danger sense. Yep.
All right, so you roll with advantage. Okay, so you get half. So you take 17 and half again, which is 8.
Heard that.
Well done. Your 18 saves, so you take 17, but you're not raging yet, so you don't have the damage resistance yet. And Oriel fails.
Oh no.
Can I
You
use
take
my
35
inspiration?
points of damage. Well, not afterward. You have to tell me in advance that you're using it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Ariel is incapacitated. She lands face down in the sort of 2 feet of water, and she is completely dead.
Wait. Dead? Dead?
Whoa.
Well, I don't know. Can you tell the difference? It's a lightning bolt. Cracker, your turn.
I hate not being able to discuss it. Well, hey lady, will you stop attacking if I throw down my axe?
That's your turn. You're trying to engage dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of you surrender and drop your weapons. You spare the rest of you.
That's a good idea.
What do you do? Remember, you can always drop anything for free. So you can drop your body for free. You can drop your weapons for free.
Drop a bomb. Like, commit suicide. Okay,
No.
so
Just lay it down.
yeah, I got it. It was like that. I'll just throw down my great axe. And I'll turn to Cora and say, I think this is a good idea.
Okay. Cora.
So I don't have a weapon out. I just have my shield. So I'm just going to put my hands in the air to indicate surrender.
Okay. Are you going to say anything since you're taking an action to essentially surrender?
Say, look, we don't want any trouble. We just came to help with the giants. I'm sorry for my friend that you killed. Seriously, we don't want to fight you.
I forgot to let Yvonne, sorry about that. I forgot to let track persuasion. So why don't Yvonne, you do a quick persuasion. It's probably not going to work, but it'll add up. And then Joe, you can do just one, no advantage because you're doing it. Okay. All right. Well, it's definitely, you can sense that the threat level is coming down a little bit. Now, it's Cud's turn. What does Cud do?
I think we should just sit on his butt.
Okay. So he plops down, he snorts derisively, puts his axe down, and throws his hands up in the air. They call me a brute. Lila, your turn.
Can I just also dash here? And I mean,
Sure.
I don't have anything on me, so I'll just dash here and look a bit scared at Cracker that Oriel just literally died, and just, I don't know, also have my hands up in the air, I guess.
When she
Okay, so you're
mentioned
surrendering
how
as well?
her aunt
Yeah.
bit off the
Because
spoon,
otherwise dashing
she
doesn't necessarily look like
completely
you're
done me
Oh.
in.
right?
Yeah.
And my heart
Yeah,
went on a
right.
journey to the moon when she told about
I
her
do.
father
Okay.
If that's right, I
and
mean,
the gin.
Yeah, no, you can do
And
whatever
I
you want.
never
I'm just-
saw a
I'm
moon
just
chanting
wanting to
fast.
If I see
the
somebody running
moment
in
when
the
she
middle of a fight, that
shouted,
doesn't necessarily mean that
"Move
they're
your
surrendering. That means
bloomin'"
that
Yes, sir.
maybe they're taking cover. They could
Is Miss
be
Doolittle
trying to
at
hide
home?
around a
Who
corner
shall
so
I
that
say
they
is
shoot me
calling?
from cover, or I don't
Freddie
know.
Eynsford Hill. If she doesn't
Okay,
remember me,
so
tell
but if you
her
say I'm sorry,
I'm the chap who was sniggering at her.
Yes, sir.
oh yeah, I can
And
do
would you
that.
give her these?
I just shout
Yes,
like,
sir.
You needn't rush.
I don't
I
have
want to
anything
drink
on
in
me.
the street where she
I don't want to
lives.
fight.
Yes, sir.
You.
I have
You're still
often
going in the
walked down the
Satina.
street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before.
And then I want to
All at once am I
okay.
several stories
stand down, and I want to grab Aria.
knowing I'm on the
And,
street where you live.
Like I want to drag her back, but I don't want it to look like offensive at all.
Heart of town. Can you hear a
Um,
lark in
but I do
any
wanna drag her
other part of
out of the
town? Does enchantment pour
So
out
anything
of
other than that
every
doesn't
door? No, it's
All right.
If a cop tells you to drop your
where you
weapons,
live,
lay down on the ground, you can believe that.
and oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you
put
are
my hands up.
near.
Like, all right, we have surrendered.
Overpowering feeling.
Really sorry about this
that any second you
whole
may suddenly
debacle.
Yeah.
People
Aria, you get
stop
to roll a
and
death save.
stare. They don't bother me. For there's nowhere else
Oh my
on
God.
earth that I would rather
Okay, so another thing, you're supposed to roll those
Let
secretly
the time
so
go
that nobody else knows.
by.
But
I
that's not gonna
won't
get you out of
care
the
if
one.
I can be
No,
here
but I don't
on
think no.
the street where
Yeah, good try. Everybody has to learn, right, Joe? Everybody has to learn the hard way.
Mr. Eynsford Hill,
Yes.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. Miss
Okay.
Doolittle says she doesn't want to see anyone
So,
ever
since
again.
the entire round went by, and
She
nobody
was
died,
unbelievable.
So I've been
Millie
told, sir.
looks at her sisters,
Is there
who
any
you
further
now
message?
realize had been crackling. They basically had been casting spells and
wait.
holding them,
But it might be days, sir, even
But
weeks.
don't you see, I'll be happier
and
here.
they let the spells
People
fizzle out.
stop and stare.
And
They don't bother me.
just like this
There's
music.
nowhere
Has
else
some
on
sort of
earth that
consistent
I would
theme.
rather be. Let's
All right. And she says,
Fine. Let's have that helmet. And those boots. And that shield.
Those
And
were
you
part
can
of the
save. You can save. The agreement has been changed.
and she points a finger at you.
Or do you want some more?
Could we negotiate on?
You don't
items?
negotiate with us. We tell you terms and you live and accept them or you die.
Very well. Cora. And call Cora over. And I'll
Joe?
hand over the helmet. The
I take the
helm.
boots off and I hand him my shield.
You're standing in their piss water.
I
with
know.
your bare feet. A couple of leeches
Gross.
attach themselves to your feet. You lose 1 hit point of damage.
That's humiliating.
You may revive your fallen friend.
Yeah, you can get back next to it. Definitely more efficient. Now, Oriel, of course, hasn't been actually aware that this whole thing has come to a complete end. So when she wakes up, what does she do? Does she like pop up and immediately try to attack?
You better not.
No, I think she's like, and she's like holding up her shield, like, and one hand in the air, like, no, this was not what I meant. I'm sorry. She was like in that mode still.
Sleeping here alone.
And then she sits a little bit up, and her hair is like all static, going everywhere.
The things I want. You think you got the best of me? Think you've had the last laugh? Bet you think that everything
Alright.
is gone. Think you left me broken down. Think that I'll come running back. Baby, you don't know me 'cause you're dead wrong. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. What's that secret life?
You want it as a gift?
Doesn't mean I'm over 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Trust me, myself and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone.
Are you still gonna turn some animals?
You heard that I was starting over with someone new.
And I'll hand it over.
They told you I was moving on over you.
You have no harm with
And think that I'd come back swinging. You tried to break me, but you see what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. What's that secret lighter? Doesn't mean I'm over 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Trust me, myself and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. Thanks to you, I got a new face.
Somehow, even though
Thanks to you, I'm not the broken hearted. Thanks to you, I'm finally thinking about me. You know, in the end,
The other
you say
two
you left us just a my
stand there,
beginning.
and they say,
In the end,
to various forest animals. We can only do this for 3 of you. So, 2 of you will have to be animals in some other way. But I suspect, based on your abilities, that perhaps you already have access to animals, don't you?
And she looks at
Yeah.
Satina and Byleth.
Yes.
I suggest you use your abilities wisely. Remember, hill giants are not very smart. But as animals, you will not be able to communicate with each other unless you have some other ability to do so. You can make plans now for simple communication, and you can also decide on a plan of action. Use cunning. If they attack you and kill you, you will revert to your current state, which, for some of you,
Looking at Oriel.
doesn't look very good. You don't want to get into a fight with them. If we wanted to, we might have been able to drive them off, but it would be close. Keep that in mind.
All right. You guys ready?
You guys want to take a little break? Anybody need to
Yes.
get some new underarm deodorant?
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
de-stress a little? Do a little
Oh
yoga?
my
Exactly.
god.
Smoke a joint?
Yeah.
Take a
All
little
of the
Little
above.
breathing exercises.
Calm down.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Remember, it's the real world. It's not like every time you get into a combat, you're going to win. So maybe not everything is a combat.
Okay.
Well done, everybody. That was good. You guys did a good job. You guys managed to get out of there alive.
We didn't die.
Yay!
So great.
Well, I did. Kinda.
Well,
No.
Hey, I brought you back.
temporarily.
We're sorry for
Yeah,
you.
I'm back. I'm back. Yay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. One more session and then Joe's
Oh,
out of
God.
here. So you guys will have
Oh,
to be a lot
Lord.
more careful.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, well, Ariel can do a little healing, and then Henrietta's Dallin, she can do a little healing, but you guys have to be a lot smarter about it and maybe stock up more on healing potions. Remember, you can buy
Yeah.
healing
Yeah.
potions. You can also make them potentially.
Hmm.
All right. Let's
All right.
take 10 minutes, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So it looks like we're all back. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You bet.
Do I have time to ritually bring back Salazar?
So this is a good question. So the way this works is you guys are initiating this assault or attempt at stealth. So it's really all up to you. You can you can choose the time and the place. You can take a long rest. You can regain spell slots, hit points. You can prepare your spells by changing what you've got memorized. Now, technically, if you're actually an animal, you're not going to be able to cast spells, but there is the possibility that you could get discovered, right? And if that happens, you end up getting crushed to death. You will end up having to fight your way out if possible. Now, they've already warned you. It's quite possible you would not succeed. They've told you that they think it's dangerous for them to try. But you need to plan in advance with the expectation that things won't go the way you hope. You can also do things like, they're expecting you to use your magical abilities to bring back your familiars. Those of you who have familiars awaiting a recall, or to cast Find Familiar as appropriate. Right? So you can all say that you're, either taking a long rest if you need it, or at least taking a little bit of a break and preparing your spells. So what do you
Well,
guys
I need a
want to do?
bit of heal. I need a little bit of healing before we start.
So this is a planning session. You guys need to figure out how you're going to approach this.
Well, I can help with the healing. But the aim is to get this ring of truth.
Or wing of tooth. Or
Or
wing
wing
of
of
truth.
truth.
or ring of tooth, ring of truth. Yeah, there's so many different variations.
Can anyone go invisible, or was that just Dallin?
Oh no, I have invisibility, but it's not prepared. If we would need it, we would need to take a long rest.
So do we know, because they pointed out which direction we should go to meet the giants? Do we know how long of a travel it's going to be? Is it like a day, or is it like a couple of hours, or?
It's not even in 2 hours.
Oh, okay,
They're-
okay, okay.
But they're going to escort you basically up to the boundary to make it easier for you to succeed.
Make sure we don't run.
The spell
We've
lasts
got
for 1 hour, so there's no point them casting a spell on you for it to run out before you even get there.
No, so shall we take a rest then? That we just get a little time to catch our breath before we continue our journey?
well, we need to plan what we're actually going to do when we get there.
Yes,
So
this is critical.
we need to find the ring of truth, but we also need to find a way to drive them out.
Yes,
We
exactly.
can cause a diversion away from them. That way they go towards it or away from it, depending.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I have fireball. So I can make a big explosion somewhere and hope that they find interest in it and then go towards it. Or put it
I'd
like
have thought
close
they'd
enough
have
to
gone
the camp
away
where
from
they
fire, wouldn't they?
right, or put it like somewhere not super close but kind of close to where they go away from it.
Mhm. So, and do we know something? Does anyone of us know something a little bit more about this this place, this area that we're in? Do we know any other hills that they can go to or run to, or that's maybe a little bit more appealing to them? So maybe we can lead them towards other hills.
The only problem with that is what if the ring is on their person?
Yes,
Yeah.
good point.
That's why we need one of us to be quite small,
Yeah,
so you
Mhm.
can kind of run up them into pockets, you know.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And I'm gonna bring up Salazar regardless, and I can choose whatever form he would be best in.
Hmm.
So that could help.
Can he carry a
Mm,
ring?
yeah.
No, but he could put it in his.
Well,
He
it
could put
depends on.
yeah. But if, say,
It
for
depends on
instance, he
what
was
he
a
is.
mouse, you could put it in his mouth and
Mhm.
drop it out of the pocket if that's where it was, so he doesn't actually
Right.
have to carry it.
So it all depends on what he is. Like if he has little grabbers, like a hawk or a raven, then he can grab it. But if he's like a snake or like a lizard, he can like pick it up with his mouth.
Snake would be
Um,
easy, right? He just wears it as a belt.
exactly, yeah. But he wouldn't. He also could be useful as a weasel. I
Yep.
think weasels are pretty common in the forest.
Yeah, there's almost, it's probably fair to say this is a lush, teeming jungle. And
Mhm.
you probably, with your intelligence,
Okay.
you would know that low intelligence creatures like giants, they're famous. You know, some giants are not stupid, but
Mhm.
a lot of giants, between all of you, you've all heard enough tavern stories to know that giants, especially hill giants, are probably known for being quite dim. And
Mhm.
even if there was an animal that wasn't native to this jungle, it's not entirely unreasonable to think that they wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. So I'm
So
leaning
anything,
towards. I think as a spider, he'd be able to help, like just figure out where it is. Or a snake or a weasel. Those are my recommendations. Maybe a bird.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah. Don't
What
forget,
about a
birds
bird?
can fly. Some things can walk on vertical surfaces. Some
Mhm.
things have advantage with perception, certain types of perception. Some things have certain advantages with stealth, right?
Mhm.
Certain animals. There's even one animal that can actually make human sounds.
Like a raven.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe we can have a couple of ravens, so a couple of them can maybe distract, and one of them can actually get the ring if it's on their person.
We can send well, y'all could like go ahead, look through like their belongings and stuff. And then while y'all do that, can have something look through their person, whether it's a familiar or one of the players. So I think that would take down the time.
Now, don't
And then
forget,
if need be,
yeah, just remember, you need to not only come up with a plan, but you need to come up with a communication system.
I think I'm definitely
And
gonna
let,
do a raven then.
with it, well, excluding the raven, none of the rest of the animals will be able to make a sound that other animals will understand unless they're the same species, right? So
Yeah.
maybe if you're both the whatever cats, I'll allow one cat sort of, very basic. Presumably cats have some. I know some people who love cats think cats are human, but they're not. So let's assume that they can only do certain basic concepts, right? Danger, hungry, right?
Chaotic
You
evil.
you would you wouldn't necessarily be able to pass along in meow language, attack him from the rear or distract him while I go grab the ring. That's going to be too complicated for you to pass along as an animal in animal form.
We could
If you have some
do
other way to communicate, then that's fine.
we
Well,
could do
actually,
go ahead.
if I'm thinking about this, ravens or birds, they do have an eye for shiny objects, right?
Right.
So I kind of like it.
And we could do
Yeah.
like, because we are all communicating within each other, right? Not necessarily directly with words, but we can figure out like danger, which basically mean GTFO, get out of there.
Yeah, but you need to tell me exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah, I know.
So just to be clear, like if you say we've got a system in place for things like danger, that's fine. But if you need to explain what you're going to be doing in advance so
Right.
that when we get there, because you might, let's say it's okay, I'm a snake and I do a wiggly dance. That's fine, except that in order to do a wiggly dance that others can see, you would be doing it in the open where presumably the giants could see. So,
Yeah.
but we need to discuss that.
Let's see. It'd help if we knew what animals we were going to be.
Well,
But we
that's
do
kind
have
of
a
what we
couple
got to
of options.
decide.
Yeah. So if we were animals that made noise, we could do like 1 for whatever, 2 for 2, 3 for whatever. Like 1 caw for found it, 3 caws for danger.
The deer stands up, looks, and goes,
Yeah.
Not suspicious at all.
yeah, exactly.
Well, because deers can like bleat, right? So they can go. I can't do a bleat, but like they could bleat.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you had a lion and he's like sitting there going, lion walks up and goes, Achoo!
Cute.
Be cute.
Even the giant might go, whoa, what's that? Roar, I say, Achoo! Yeah, sounds good. You guys are working on it. I like it. So let's go in order. Everybody put out your thoughts, whatever thoughts they are. And let's all listen to that person completely to make sure we cover all grounds. Because I think a lot of people are throwing out good ideas, but this is one of those brainstorming sessions where everybody's kind of accidentally talking over each other a little. So not in any particular order, just left to right on my screen. Joe, would you like to go first? Does Cora have any thoughts, suggestions, ideas?
I think having a couple of ravens is a good idea. One, because they like shiny objects, and I think we're looking for a ring. They can pick it up in their beaks, and they can fly it and drop it to somewhere else.
If you're looking for a ring, he did actually say wing of tooth, so who knows?
Yeah.
Yes.
But also because they can caw, they can make a noise. We could agree on 1 being, found it, 2 being danger, 3 being, whatever it might be, to warn the others if need be.
I'm looking forward to this role play where you guys try to keep track of how many caws it is. Like caw, 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 caw. So does that mean you found it, danger, and we're getting out, or does that just?
Well, that's where we've got to keep it simple, I think.
Yeah.
Like
All right, that's
one
pretty
one
good.
for found it, two for danger, three for get the out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Good ideas. Thank you. Maddie?
Yeah, really going off of what Joe said. Not gonna say it's a great idea just because it was mine, but
DM's keeping score. Don't worry.
and so like for the ones that aren't birds, they could formulate some way with their body if they're not able to make a noise that maybe one of the birds is watching, like keeping an eye out on the different animals, and so they'll be the signaler. And so like let's say Ariel is a rabbit and she's like, oh, I found it. And so she'll like, I don't know, like cock her ears or something. And the bird will see it and be like, caca, found it. And then everyone who hasn't found it will be like, oh, somebody else found it. Okay. And then work from there. Maybe.
Yeah, I
Plan
like that
B,
detail.
how to get them out of there.
Mm-hmm. And then they would know whenever there's danger. Like maybe we were able to drive the giants away and then they start coming back.
Very interesting. Okay, Yvonne.
I think we've got two different things here. I can't quite figure out how we're going to drive them away. I mean, we've got the plan with the small animals searching through pockets, etc., and the birds keeping an eye out for anything shiny and also communicating what we little mice might be doing. But how are we going to get them out of there? That's the only thing I can't quite work out.
Good point.
Because
Laura?
basically Cud's being held hostage on that basis, right? Not on the ring basis, but on the getting them out of there.
Yeah, they don't, I mean, they were willing to negotiate a deal for them giving you support so that you can get the ring for the druid. But after the PR disaster, can we call it that, Sabrina? Is that fair?
Sure, I like that.
Terms changed, but that's a very good point. Yeah, you technically actually have two missions.
Okay, well, I'm not the best for ideas on that one. Besides, I don't even think we can outrun them. I think they probably have pretty good speed.
That's a good question.
I say we deal with one. We bring the ring back, we regroup, and then we go back. And once we have a better idea of how to move them.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, a two-parter.
All
right, Laura?
Yeah, I mean, I also have no idea how to get them away, I also like the idea that Yvonne said, like the two-parter. But I mean, I don't know. But I also like the idea with the birds because they can dodge pretty easily and, fly. But if the ring or the wing, I don't know, might be like directly on their body, I think it could be cool if we would have like a small animal too, like a spider, because especially not everyone can turn into an animal, they said, I think only like 3. And I don't know, I could use the find familiar so that I could actually communicate with, I don't know, the spider, for example. I think can do that with find familiar. Can you? Yeah, I think so. So then I don't know, maybe when it's on their body somewhere, hidden somewhere, I can order, I don't know, my animal to find it. And I don't know, spiders are pretty small and they can fit pretty much everywhere, so I can do that. And then I don't know, maybe for example, I'm not transforming into the bird, and then I could shout to the birds like it's there and there, and then they could try to get that. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good
Make it.
point. You can, for those of you who are not actually being polymorphed, so the spell will be polymorph, which some of you will be generally familiar with. It's a higher level spell. None of you have it currently, but some of you saw the effects of it from the potion. It will allow somebody to be turned into a beast of equivalent or lower challenge rating. Now, that for some of you, that could mean you could turn into a full dinosaur. Maybe that's worth it, but again, a dinosaur would be less conspicuous than some of you guys walking up in your armor or casting spells or whatever. But it's definitely not as inconspicuous as, say, a spider or a bird that might naturally be seen in the jungle, or a snake or anything else. But yeah, so technically, two of you and Henrietta, when she's back next week as Dallin, she'll be wild shaping presumably. So two of you won't actually be in the animal bodies. You'll just be controlling or looking through your familiar's eyes and ears and communicating telepathically with them. Presumably, if you're close enough physically. The rest of you, in one form or another, will be the animals. So there is a difference there. There's also a bit of exposure. So you also need to decide, what animal you're going to be, who's going to be the birds, if you have two birds or whatever, and who's going to be the other animals and which animals they should be.
We get to
Any
choose our
questions?
animals?
Yep, they'll let you choose as long as you stick to the rule of the
Oh,
spell.
okay. I thought we were just
Yeah.
gonna get like popped into animals.
Well, they were going to do that originally, but they were going to put you into the animals they thought made sense. But
Mhm.
if you guys have a better plan, they're not going to interfere with your plan. They want your plan, assuming your plan includes getting rid of the giants. They want your plan to succeed.
Right. Okay, cool.
So if you have a better plan, then that's fine. But if you're just going to all try to turn into dinosaurs and overrun the giants, I guarantee you that's probably not going to work. Because first of all, only 3 of you can turn into anything more than 2 of you have to control familiars. Dallin can't do anything beyond a CR2 creature, or even maybe CR1 creature, which is very low, and like a direwolf. And the rest of you can only turn into higher level monsters, but not you're individually so low level, you wouldn't make, except for maybe Joe, Cora, that you wouldn't be able to make much of a difference. Cora could turn into something quite substantial, and she's actually been in that situation.
That was a crocodile.
Yeah, but it wasn't just a
Nice.
crocodile. It was a giant crocodile,
It was a giant crocodile.
and it was more powerful than the mammoth. That's why you got the crocodile, because Cora was more powerful than the mammoth, and everybody else got to turn into mammoths.
That was fun.
That sounds fun.
No, it was.
Well, this is going to be fun too.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's like that Dream episode we had.
Yeah,
That was a
funny
lot
how
of fun.
somebody mentioned that, and I thought, okay, yeah, I can try to do something. So things Cora could turn into as a level 8 character, for example, include a Tyrannosaurus Rex,
Oof.
a giant crab, a sperm whale. Might not be very useful in the jungle.
Mm.
You could also turn
Maybe
into a
not.
giant ape, a mammoth. Whatever happened to Big Honker? Did we forget about Big Honker?
Oh no, we released him into the wild.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And can she turn into, like, say, a hill giant?
No, it's got to be an animal.
Okay.
Good try, though. Giants are their own classification. A beast is what technically animals are.
All right. So here's my question: can any of us maybe? I was thinking about the part about trying to escape. Right? If everything goes well, we have the ring or the wing of truth.
Mhm.
We still have to drive them out as well,
Mhm.
and we have to get away. So can we do something like make an image or of a god that they adore, or maybe like a brother from another clan? I don't know if they live in clans, but um,
Would a
that
dinosaur scare them off?
Mm,
Or they might try and hunt it, so it could just
Yeah.
stay just ahead of them.
If you wanted to do that for illusion, that's a big illusion.
No, I'm thinking if I was the Tyrannosaurus Rex, then you guys could go in first as the small animals to find the wing or ring or whatever it is of truth. And once that's been found, I come in, sort of charge them, if you like, to try and make them run away.
And what if they catch up to you?
No, I'm thinking of chasing them.
Oh.
Joe never. Joe's always on the offensive.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So Satina as a level 5 could, in theory, turn
Mhm.
into something like a Triceratops, giant crocodile, Brontosaurus.
Mhm. I think I'd probably be using my Find Familiar though. I think that'd be most helpful.
Yeah, because if you don't use Find Familiar, then somebody else can't go in at all.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah,
I
that's
can
another.
I can like see through Salazar, so I'd still be
Yep.
there.
And in theory, if you're close enough to see through Salazar's eyes, you're actually only 100 feet away, which
Right.
might be too
Which I mean,
might be too risky. So the way we'll do it is, if you want to disengage, if you want to be close enough, if you want to be far enough away that Satina's physical body doesn't, risk setting off any alarms, then
Mhm.
you'll just control Salazar, and Salazar will just do whatever you say.
Mhm.
But you'll be limited by Salazar's physical limitations. If you want to be close enough to be involved in any combat, if it happens, you'll be Satina, and also Byleth, if Byleth did the same thing, would be close enough that they could actually trigger a more aggressive response if they saw humanoids,
Yeah.
potentially.
I think it'd be best to be about 120, 150 feet away. That way, if necessary, I can still cast some spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just
I
remember,
mean,
150 feet away is not very far, right? I
I
mean,
know.
you can see. The rules are, unless there's something blocking the view, which of course in the jungle there's plenty of cover, so maybe that's workable. But generally
Mhm.
speaking, you can see 2 miles in open terrain.
Yeah.
So
I think we'd probably take cover. I think that'd be the smartest idea.
I agree.
Okay.
Try and be like, and like go. I don't want to say like go into like a meditative state, but this is what I'm envisioning, like visioning through the familiar.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's exactly what would happen. You two would be completely defenseless. You'd be sitting
Or
there,
eyes.
and you'd be
Oh,
looking
and
through the familiars.
Yeah.
I have alarm as well.
Ooh, smart. Very good.
So we could use that at some point because I can use it on an area within range. So it doesn't have to be like a door or a window or anything. So
That's
we could
right.
set that around us. And it is not a concentration spell. Whoop,
No,
whoop.
that's right. Yep. Alarm is perfect for that.
And it is a ritual, so I don't need a long rest.
That's right.
Good. Yeah, that would protect our bodies at least a little bit.
Any
If
other
the alarm
thoughts,
went off,
anybody?
then
Yeah, that's good. That's a great idea. Anybody else have any other thoughts? Yvonne, any further thoughts?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay. So what's the system for you guys communicating? And who's going to actually write it down so that we remember next time?
I don't mind typing
We
it
have a
down
couple.
so that we remember.
We have a couple birds, right? A couple ravens watching out.
Okay, let me write down what animals are we going to be.
Yes, that would be helpful. And yeah, Joe, so that's another point, right? If you're going to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, that's one thing, but that changes the concept, right? The conception currently is it's pure infiltration. It's like Ocean's 11. But if you're going to be a T-Rex, then you're expecting some kind of deception and or possible combat.
Yeah, I think they said that
Yeah.
we should be cunning, and that's also what the druid said, right?
Yeah.
Cunning is the way to go.
But a T-Rex is very powerful, just to be fair. It may
But
not
it's
be
sort of
enough
like our
to
second.
Yeah, but how many?
Like our
We don't know how many
second
we're
stage.
actually up against. 1-on-1 might be okay, but if you've got 1-on-5, it's
Yeah,
good.
and they said something like 4 or 5. They weren't sure.
yeah.
Yep. They're not real
It was
solo
it was enough
creatures.
for these three that you fought. It was enough for them to want to be careful, and they were pretty powerful, weren't they?
Yeah.
Hmm
Okay.
Yep.
So
Ridiculously.
what's the? Why don't we start off with our plan and then go from there as to what animals we think would be best.
Okay.
So we want to look for the ring or wing of tooth.
hmm
Yeah.
So I would say
Exactly.
we need as many as possible looking for that, but we probably need one overseeing everybody else, keeping an eye out to look out for the the body signals or whatever we're going to use as a communication level.
Yeah, and I can
hmm
have Salazar be a raven and do that.
Yeah. So once we've found, if we find, said ring wing of tooth,
hmm
what we're going to do to drive them out.
Mm, I could blow it up.
But then you'd have to turn back into yourself, wouldn't you?
Well, I wouldn't be not myself. I'd be looking through Salazar, which I would just need. I think it's as an action to come back in to my own mind. Which I'll look at
Yeah.
that.
So the way it works, it's actually technically it's actually an action every round for you as your
hmm
PC to look through your familiar's eyes.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But you'd have to
So
be within 100 feet of your familiar to be able to make
hmm
that telepathic communication.
Yeah,
So Salazar would have to, or else somehow you'd have to find a triangulating relay system between you and the other party members, so that somehow Satina could see the signal and then fire a fireball. But she'd still also have to be within 150 feet just to launch a fireball. Or
yeah,
170 feet at the maximum range with the radius included. So
yeah.
that's close. It's still pretty close. It's not impossible to make that work. It's definitely a possibility.
It's just need to be a little bit more sneaky,
Yep. Other things
and
that
I
you can
can't be
also turn
invisible
into.
because.
That's right. Other things you can turn into a CR4 creature is a quattle. So that could also
What is
apply to
that?
Yvonne. That is the flying snake that you guys saw in the Dino Mart.
Oh,
Oh
that's so
yeah.
fun.
I mean,
That's
anything
what it's
lower
called?
than a quattle. So anything lower
That
than
is
your
so
maximum
cute.
CR is also allowed. So elephants, giant walrus probably would stick out. Corals, giant coral snake, stegosaurus.
You guys,
Uh,
I maybe have an idea.
go on.
Okay.
So we're struggling with how to drive them out, right?
hmm
And the
Yeah.
one thing that we know about hill giants is that they're not very smart, usually, right?
Right.
hmm
So can't we spook them? Like make them think that this place is haunted or something like that, maybe by apparating a ghost or apparating or spook them in some kind of way.
Would they understand that? Like, would they take that as ooh, this place is no good. We should leave.
This is haunted, yeah.
And it's a good idea.
I don't
Wonder
know.
if it'll
I
work.
don't know. I don't know either.
I'm not trying to bash your idea. I promise.
No. It's a good question, yeah.
Does anybody
Right.
know anything more about hill giants? Things that they might be afraid of, or
yeah. So who can tell me of their character's background or abilities if there's a reason why they might know about hill giants? Hill giants
Well, I
aren't
think
that.
I would know something about them being in a woodcutter's family. I'm sure we've encountered them somewhere in the hills.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a
Maybe not.
reasonable assumption.
Yeah.
I also
hmm
think that Satina or Maddie and we have the researcher trait from the background stage, so
hmm
I can
We would
also.
need to find somebody.
Yeah. So as long as you can find a library somewhere in the jungle, you should
Oh
be fine.
yeah.
I mean,
That shouldn't be a
unless
problem.
unless we
Okay.
learned about it in
Can we?
studies, like maybe she learned about it in school or I learned about it with the artwork. But I don't know if hill giants were particularly documented.
Mm.
I mean, there's definitely going to be some artwork that's got some hill giants, but what
Nothing showing
was
any like
what was
weaknesses.
what is Violet's background again?
Sage also.
Yeah. Any special?
Yeah.
Was there a specialty?
No, just
Okay.
this trade.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, dwarves and giants have a kind of a thing, right? So but you're not really a dwarf. But
Yeah,
you know,
no.
we'll say go ahead. Yeah, I would say
Who?
Cora probably as an Asimar and a cleric, not super familiar with hill giants. I would say that as a halfling paladin, maybe not super familiar. I'd say the three of you probably have some. So I'll tell you what, everybody can roll history, but you're going to have slightly different DCs. Some of you will have a slightly easier DC, and some of you will have a slightly harder DC.
Okay. Oof, that is not a good roll for a
Yeah.
+6.
Wow.
Okay. Now
That's
Sabrina.
solid.
Now Sabrina's rolling privately to me, but that was a
Sorry.
17. That's okay. No problem. No worries. No worries. So yeah, pretty average. Most of you can come up with they're a little bit slow. They're very strong, obviously. They're very tough. They're definitely really, really dumb. As in, they're so dumb they probably can't read. They're also smelly and brutish, and they're constantly hungry. They're motivated by food, and they use
Motivation.
basic things like trees as clubs. They'll throw boulders. They're very good at throwing rocks very long distances.
Do we
And
know?
they have even been used as siege weapons against castles when there's a larger, more powerful overriding leader in charge. They'll stand up someplace and just literally throw rocks at a castle or a fortification and pummel it like a catapult. And they do a reasonable amount of damage when they hit. They can easily kill a normal man. And they've got a lot of hit points. But they're not really they're not that hard to kill. They can be killed. They don't wear armor. Their skin isn't super, super hard or anything. So they are, although they're technically giants, they're very similar in many ways to a standard human that's just really, really big and strong.
Do we know what they eat?
Anything. They like meat.
Right.
And they'll eat things that are cooked. They'll eat things that are raw. They're not like super carnivores or scavengers. They won't necessarily eat rotting flesh, but they do very much like to, they'll happily hunt down a cow and drag it back. They're so big that they can actually just carry a cow under their arms and just drag it back to their lairs and roast it. They're about, 12, 14 feet tall, between 10 and 14 feet tall, let's say. They're considered
But
huge.
they don't have villages or anything. So do they just follow the food and camp wherever the food is?
They do. They do have societies that live together. But a lot of times they just sort of wander on their own. They'll also go into service for somebody who's very powerful, who offers them riches and food. They're bullies.
Oh, that's interesting.
Obviously.
We know what kind of animals live here. Have we seen any animals crossing the land or something like that? So maybe we can get a little bit of an idea of what kind of food they hunt.
Well, it's the jungle. So you've seen a lot of things. You've seen lots of dinosaurs and big game. You've also seen lots of tracks. For most of you are not, with the exception of Dallin, most of you are not super attuned to nature. So I think the paladin and the cleric walking around in chainmail and plate mail aren't probably, super clued into, whether or not it's a mongoose or something else crawling around in the trees.
That's fair.
But they're so big that they can literally, for them to eat a cow is a bit like humans eating a turkey. It's a big, big meal, but it's not impossible. And you know what they say about dinosaurs? Tastes like chicken.
So maybe
Sorry,
it isn't a
had
bad
to throw
idea
that in
after
there.
all to be to make like some kind of a distraction like a lone dinosaur or cow or something like that.
Ooh, setting Cora up as bait.
Pick something fast.
This is how I'm going to go out, isn't it? I'm going to be
Yeah.
eaten by hill giants.
Faster than
Joe,
40 feet.
A worthy
Joe,
end.
You
Joe,
know
can
what?
you
I'll sacrifice myself for you.
can you make a sound like a wounded dinosaur?
What if I knew what a dinosaur sounded like?
You haven't seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of
Yeah.
loud and guttural and a little screechy.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Okay. I mean, so what's the plan? Are you guys using the bait and switch? Are you using the attack? Are you using the haunting? I call this episode the ring, the wing.
The wing of confusion.
What if it's actually a wing of real tooth? Because he was missing tooth, right? Teeth, right?
It's just
Yeah,
his
he
dentures.
was.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Oh,
All
yeah,
this
I
for
can.
some dentures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Oh
imagine.
god.
Great.
Would your DM do something that devious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we should check the giants before we create the diversion.
Yeah.
You
So
think
we
should what,
can
sorry?
check the giants for the ring or the wing before the diversion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you can
We need to
have so we can have 3 signals, right? Danger, found it, diversion.
Right.
And so like once the giants are checked and nothing avails, then we create the diversion. Get them out of there.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And it's the
Sounds
last
great.
time we see Cora is running off into the sunset, chased by giants.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
nice.
liking this idea.
And then, like, if you're running for an hour, then you could just flap your wings and fly up into the sky. And get away
For
from
a
them.
minute.
For a whole minute.
For a whole minute, just to get away.
Yeah, I can travel what, 180 feet? No, hang on. It's 10 rounds, isn't it? 300 feet away before, flight stops.
You got it. You got
Yeah.
it.
While they're still running at 40 feet around on the ground, so it's not 300
Yeah.
feet distance. You'll get ahead of them, but then you're back to being barefoot in the
Yeah.
jungle.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
I won't be barefoot. I've still got my boots from before I had the
That's smart.
the armored ones.
All right. I mean,
Maybe
it
we
sounds
should.
sounds like a plan that's coming together. There's some very interesting twists here.
We need to find the wing,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I'm writing this down. I'm typing it, and then
We need to be cunning.
create a diversion.
So I'm going to need to know who everybody's going to turn into, or what kind of animal that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, I like the flying snake, but then that could be food. They might think, oh, food.
You're like, nice, and grab it out of the sky.
Look,
Yeah.
to these
Chomp on
guys, pretty much anything that you can turn into is food. So, if it's small, maybe they wouldn't bother, or they wouldn't even notice it. Like, who's going to notice a spider
Yeah.
if you're the size of a giant, right?
Yeah.
Literally, right? But if
And a
you're,
mouse.
or even a mouse, like a mouse to them is like an ant. Like, you wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
think an ant is food. But, if you're something a little bit like a medium-sized creature or a small-sized creature, let's say you're a small-sized creature like a halfling or a gnome, right? That would be like, a cookie,
Little snack.
or like a couple of nuts. So that might be worth it for them if they're really that hungry.
Or like
if
a
you're
flying beetle.
a flying beetle.
Yeah, I wonder if that's too small. Probably wouldn't be able to pick up whatever it is.
Oh, just a beetle, you mean? Like an insect?
Probably not.
Yeah. Like a
Insects would be
cockroach.
too. Yeah, an insect or spider would be too small to pick up. If it's a ring, it'll be heavier than most insects could carry. And if it's a wing, you don't know what kind of wing it is exactly. It could be a sparrow wing. A dried sparrow wing would be very small. It might be something that a large spider could carry, maybe. But it's going to be hard if it's a vulture's wing, probably.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got
Okay,
a
I'm
plan
going
on
in it.
what Darlin will be as well.
Right. I'm gonna be a mouse. I'll do the pocket
I think
search.
that's good. Yeah,
We
I
can
think
put
that's
it
good.
into the group chat and let her decide over the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, she can pick up messages.
Yeah.
So Yvonne's going to be a mouse, and
Okay, let me put that down.
Maddie is going to be Salazar as a raven.
Raven.
Okay.
So
I can be a
Maddie,
raven as well.
hang on 1 second.
Sure.
As a raven. Sorry, who else is going to be a raven?
Me.
Sabrina Ariel as raven. So what did we decide, Joe? Are you going to be like a small animal, or are you going to be basically a Bronto burger, a walking Bronto burger?
That's up to the guys and what our plan to draw them out is. I mean, if you want me to be bait, I'll happily be bait.
All of you can be bait. You can all turn into dinosaurs of a large enough size that you would be worth hunting if they wanted to eat a dinosaur. Level 2 creatures include an Allosaurus, like a baby Brontosaurus, maybe. Yvonne Cracker at level 4 could, as I think earlier I said, Stegosaurus. That's pretty hefty animal.
How fast can a
Is it gonna-
Stegosaurus run?
Yeah, what's the fastest dinosaur?
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure you guys would know that, right? Unless you can tell
Well,
me
we
how
would because we were in a race.
you ran
We
a
talked
race.
about
That's
yeah, and we talked about which dinosaurs would be the best for running and which wouldn't be. So we'd have some understanding.
You sure would. And if anybody took notes, they would definitely have the answer.
Like I think the Hadrosaurus was pretty fast. And
The one I was on was fastest.
yeah, it's true.
Excuse me.
Can I be a Deinonychus on our secondary? Because Deinonychus can fly, right?
Can
I think so.
let me type it in.
Jungle Princess.
You are definitely able to be a Deinonychus. I think that's how we agreed.
Or Deinonychus. Yeah.
But they run.
Okay.
They're bigger versions of velociraptors. Speaking of
So pretty
Jurassic
fast.
Park. Yeah, they're 40 feet.
Okay, just in front of them. Great.
Waving that juicy tail.
Okay, so what you're saying is we could be a mouse, we could do our stealthy bits, and then turn into whatevers and run.
No. So just to be clear, the polymorph spell turns you into an animal for the hour, or as long as that person maintains concentration. You don't get to choose whilst you're polymorphed to be something else. The only person who could potentially change the familiars can be brought back immediately as other animals if somebody memorizes the spell and then casts it, but then the familiar will be brought back at the location of the caster, so they won't be present at the same location. The only person who could potentially change on the spot into something else would be Dallin using her wild shape.
Right.
So whatever you got, you guys have to make a decision which path you're going to, what's your strategy going to be? You need to decide stealth plus distraction, attack, and then, from there, your answer is going to be more obvious because you'll eliminate a lot of potential choices. The two find familiar spellcasters, Byleth and Satina, can only be small animals, like really, like their size classification is considered tiny, like a cat size, for a bird size or a mouse size or a spider size. These are all considered tiny. But the rest of you, if you're under the polymorph spell, could in theory be small, anything tiny or up to, dinosaur size, which for some of you means even a huge creature. This is going to be good. You got look at all the effort. I could feel the brain power working. You guys could light up a couple of buildings with all the energy you're putting into this. I love it. Is it giving you a headache? Is it too much?
Well, there's one piece of the puzzle I'm just going over with is even if we get to distract them and let them go chase after a couple of dinosaurs, how are we going to keep them away? Because that that doesn't motivate them to relocate, right? And that's what they ask of us, right?
Yes, that's true.
So, and wasn't the Millie not saying something about the water? Hill giants can't swim, right?
No, I don't think she said that.
Oh, okay.
She said there was something in the water.
See, this is where
Yeah.
we need Henrietta's thinking out the box mind, because she comes up with some wonderful things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. Because she's got so much real world experience. She's like, well, this one time, I killed a bear with my bare hands just by, tricking him into swallowing a corn cob, which then he choked on. And while he was doing that, I grabbed him by the testicles and put him in a rabbit snare. And because he could, was so tender, he couldn't move and he slowly died. So maybe that would work here in this fantasy game.
Can we poison some food? Maybe we can poison food.
Ooh.
We have poison.
That's a good idea.
I like that idea.
What
Let me
about
see.
frogs?
I mean,
They have poison.
we also have a poisonous snake. I don't know. Maybe they can poison food.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, despite the misnomer, although there's an argument that you can also call it something poisonous. Technically, in D&D, what we call poisonous animals are actually venomous animals. And yes, if you can change into a venomous animal, you could, in theory, extract the venom. Now, whether or not that's going to be enough to do something to kill something, that's not.
Could I
100%
turn into
certain.
a venomous
It would work.
snake and bite each one of them?
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a possibility if you want to go combat. Yeah. Although you could also just fight them as a T-Rex.
Yeah, we don't really want to do combat, do we?
Well, maybe
Not
if we
really.
go with the idea of biting them as a poisonous snake, maybe we can do something like, I don't know. I'm just gonna call out something. Maybe it's a stupid idea. I don't know, but maybe we could make an image like there's a big hole of all those poisonous snakes, exactly where their sleeping spaces or something like that. So they have to relocate.
Also,
So they
would me biting them as a snake lead to combat because they're just going to see a snake? They're not going to know I'm anything but a snake.
but they're
Well,
gonna
sorry.
feel the poison,
Yeah, sorry.
right?
They're gonna bash it.
Yeah, just to be clear, when I say combat, I mean they're going to want to. They might either try to get away from it, or they might just try to kill it.
Yeah, unless they see it's a really big snake hole pit.
Snake.
Yeah, like they cannot beat them or something.
Yeah, one they could beat, but a whole big cesspit, they're not going to want to engage, are they?
Exactly.
Mm.
And they know that probably other animals are also going to be poisonous, so their source of food is going to be dying out soon.
Mm.
So who can create this image of a cesspit of snakes?
Cannot.
I mean, maybe if Maddie and we both do minor illusion next to each other, so that's 2 5-foot cubes. I don't know. So a 10-foot cube pile of snakes.
Possible.
Other than
I mean,
that, yeah.
so if you want to post minor illusion, just to remind everybody what it can do,
Mhm.
Oh, my sound's on. I didn't even notice.
So it lasts for 1 minute, and you can do an image or a sound. Not both, unless you're an illusionist, your school of illusion specifically.
Mm-hmm.
How about major image? Is that something that some of us can do? Maybe?
Ooh, that's little meta knowledge.
Does
Hathel
anybody have
Paladin.
major image?
If anybody did, it would be you.
And I do not.
But that is
I'm an
definitely meta
abjuration
knowledge.
wizard.
So the
Yeah.
way we do that, Sabrina, is you would ask, would I know about a spell?
All right.
And then, I might say, well, tell me why you would, and you'd have to make some justification. And it's reasonable. If you say, well, I grew up with a lot of wizards and they used to do this prank all the time, then I'd say, okay, yeah, sure, roll history or arcana. If not, then, I'd ask you to not spoil the surprise. Or
I
you could
understand.
lead the party, right? But you can be, you have to be clever about it.
Yeah,
You and I
I
both
understand.
wink at each other, and I know what you're trying to say, but you don't actually say it out loud. Do you see what I mean? Like, is there something is there a higher level spell that somebody might be able to cast that can make an illusion?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you
Understood.
think that cause fear would be helpful?
Hmm.
Because
At the same time as an illusion?
well, I mean, maybe it's only 60 feet though, which is the biggest problem. But I can use Salazar to cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
But I would need to be within 100 feet. But I
It
think
also has to
we
be a
can
spell
manage
that has
that.
it also has to be a range of touch spell.
Oh, you're right, and it is not.
So it's usually used for things like shocking grasp.
Yeah. So I would literally have to be within 60 feet of them to cause fear. But I'd be able to do it on 3.
Yeah, and that'll if they fail, any of them that fail, if they fail, they'll run away for a period of time, but then that's not going to cause them to run away permanently. And if anybody
Right.
succeeds on their saving throw,
They were boned.
dwarf stew.
And then Cud would be dead.
Yeah.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite a conundrum.
That's why I think leading them away with bait is better.
Yeah, but that's still not going to make them stay away necessarily.
Unless I
It's
blow
true.
up their camp. I can blow up their camp.
This is also true.
I can do that.
Blow up camp, lead them away, blow up camp, but lead them away hopefully to new food. And then they'll just stay where the food is.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
fear.
Yeah. Like really far.
I'll lead him to Port Nyanzaro.
Kill
Yeah, let them deal with it.
several birds and
Yeah.
with one, right up to the shadow thieves of and the Zentrum.
Mm-hmm. And then they'd be taken care of.
Yeah, it's
Everybody wins.
DM calls a 2-week break while he thinks up new stuff that he hasn't prepared yet because somebody came up with a clever solution to wipe out 4 months worth of game planning. That would be pretty smart. If you can get from here to Port Nyanzaru in an hour, that would definitely be an option. But remember, it took you a few days to get here.
It's true.
But it's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not definitely if you had an alternative solution, that would definitely be one that could work. Lead them someplace else where they're going to have enough problems that it'll solve everything. Because it's like you say, you can lead them away temporarily, whether you can force them to run away through fear, or you can lead them away potentially if you succeed as by using somebody as bait. But how do you stop them coming back? And does destroying a camp, is that enough to stop them from coming back? Because maybe it isn't. Maybe it is.
Now, DM, can we say that while we're having this conversation, we're also taking a rest?
You can if you choose to do so. Like I said, you guys are planning a sting or some kind of operation, so you have the initiative. Whether it happens today or tomorrow, you're not going to wait 3 months, obviously. right?
No.
But if it happens within today, tomorrow, the day after, that's a perfectly reasonable amount of time.
So what do
Yeah,
you
you see,
think,
if
guys?
we had a long rest, then those of us that want to use spells that maybe we haven't got prepared could change them about a bit so that we have got them prepared.
This is exactly what I said. I want you guys
Yeah.
to really think strategically
Yeah.
as well as tactically. It's great that you guys
Yeah.
are coming up with good ideas, but if you're limited by what I have prepared, maybe you've
Exactly.
got something else, right? Those of you who are clerics and druids and paladins, you have access to a bunch of spells.
Yeah,
Those of you
exactly.
who are wizards who have bigger spell books because maybe you traded some spells or you picked up some spells, take advantage of it. And don't forget, when you find spell books, make sure to copy them. You got to talk to me and make sure you copy them. Otherwise, we don't know that you copy them.
Right. So let's take a rest.
Yep.
You can take
So
a
we
rest and we
can.
can stop, but you need to make a decision because I need to plan the session, right? So
All right.
you need to tell me what the strategy is. If we stop here in real life and nobody comes to a final conclusion on what animals you're going to play or what you're going to do, it might be very difficult for me to actually run the session next week, right? Because there's too many variables. Like if you guys want to lead them away, and you say I want to lead them to a waterfall, I have to go find a map that's got a waterfall. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that to me because that's not really cool. And I want to run a good game for you. So the longer I have to prepare for it, I've got something ready, right? The basic idea was you guys go into small animals and try your way to cutting them out. But that was assuming that you just did deal with the ladies in the swamp. I didn't expect you to attack them. I thought you might
Yeah.
because I know how some of you are, but you didn't actually
Sorry.
attack them. It was kind of a failed intimidation. But you have to understand, intimidation, again, like in real life, you try to intimidate somebody and you fake and you fail, they're not going to sometimes they'll forget about it, but probably they won't. So
Yeah.
the game is realistic in that sense. We use funny names, we use funny accents, we use ridiculous stories, we use fourth wall breaking modern humor, but it's realistic in that the NPCs will behave like real NPCs,
Absolutely.
like real
Yeah.
people. Okay, so what's the plan? I need to know what the plan is. I need to know what animals, and just to make sure that it's not something that I need to do a lot of preparation for because I haven't planned for it in advance. I've got a couple of things laid out that I can do, but I'm not going to spend all week setting up 10 different scenarios because you might choose to go a different route that you haven't discussed.
So we have so far, I'm going to be a mouse. Violet's going to be a spider. We have
Sorry,
Ariel
whoa.
as a. Oh,
Who's
sorry.
going to be a spider?
Violet, Laura.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that could be nice. So I could like go up and down all the all the giants because there are
Yeah,
probably a lot of them.
yeah.
So
The
we don't
spiders
know who has the ring.
yeah, they can move vertically for sure. Yeah,
Do you want to be
but
a venomous spider on the just in case?
the spider won't be
Yeah.
able to carry a ring.
Yeah.
A big spider would.
Or big. Well, that's true. Let's see if there's. I'll take a look at spiders.
But I mean, Byleth, she's
Giant
using her
spider?
friend familiar, right?
A giant
Oh, she can't
spider
do
is
both.
a large beast. Oh, Byleth is being a fine familiar. Yeah, so she has to be a normal
Yeah,
spider.
so it would just be a spider.
Yeah.
Tiny beast.
There's a poisonous snake.
I mean,
but
I also thought about maybe using my unseen servant. If I don't know the ring, maybe I can like push it down and then the unseen servant comes and gets the ring and
Oh,
transports it or something like that.
Yes, that's definitely a
it's a
possibility.
great idea.
Again, remember, if you're going to do something like that, you need to be close enough.
Hmm.
So if you put that in the chat, how far is the distance on Unseen Servant? 30
60
feet?
feet, I think.
60 feet?
60. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty close. 60 feet is one round of dashing and they'll be on you. So you're literally close. You know how far 60 feet is in real life. It's like 20 meters, right?
Hmm.
That's like literally, the other side of the house.
you could
Yeah,
be
I
like a
mean-
rat. That way you could still climb vertically.
Can rats climb
And
vertically?
still
in the
be
game?
able to. Oh, in the game? I don't know. Let me go grab my cards.
Oh yeah, they can. I mean, if they can in real life.
No, I know, but in the game has rules on things.
Yeah.
spiders literally can climb a vertical surface, but rats and giant rats, I know in real life they can, but in the game they don't have that mechanical ability.
Yeah,
So
I
they
don't.
can climb things like everybody else can climb things, but they can't do
Okay.
anything special like walk on walls or ceilings.
I mean, I feel like if I'm a spider and the spider senses like the ring somewhere, then I could just. Okay, I couldn't shout, but maybe I don't know. I could make like a movement to show all the people that transformed into animals to show them where it is. But I need a movement for that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I would say that if somebody was a hawk or, an eagle, something like that, where they have advantage on perception with vision, then they would be able to track things like spiders really easily.
Yeah, true.
So one of you guys, instead of
So-
being a raven, maybe you want to be a hawk.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that because hawk's one of the options.
Yep. Keen sight. That literally is one of their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Maddie's
I don't
gonna-
have a. Yeah, I'll be a hawk.
So
I don't have a card for a spider.
Should
we've
be in the
got a
back of the
mouse.
player's handbook. I'll give you guys stats for stuff if you need it.
So we've got a mouse,
So
a hawk,
maybe-
a raven, a spider, but then we've got Henrietta and myself. And it's what you would like me to be.
Yeah,
Eight.
Joe, you're the big swing because you've been talking about being a T-Rex, and that would change
Mhm.
things a lot, right? For me, for
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm perfectly happy to do that, but it'll definitely be a waste of time if I have to do it on the fly, and it won't be as good probably because I won't be able to think of something interesting.
So we need our
That's-
plan for driving them away
Mhm.
because that's going to determine what I am.
And Sabrina, you're happy being a raven, right?
Well, I was just thinking, I do like the idea of having a mouse and not the raven, but the other bird, the hawk. So they could,
Well, Maddie's already
you know,
changing Salazar as a hawk.
yeah. So you have the hawk and you have the mouse. So the mouse can take the ring or the wing. The hawk can keep a look at the mouse. And I think
Mhm.
we maybe need to change up a little bit to make to go with the food plan, like to lead them away with food because they're food motivated, right?
Right.
So I don't know if it's actually useful for me then to be a raven. Maybe I could be more something like helping with the food part.
Yeah, I think we talked about ravens initially because I reminded folks that ravens can make human sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But technically, any you know,
We need a
I won't- I-
communication system, and that's why we were going to have the ravens.
exactly.
Ah,
That's
okay,
what I was
okay,
trying
You
to
could
say, right?
still you could still
but-
do that with the hawk by calling because
Exactly.
they still caw.
It was
Yeah.
the only difference was in case you guys wanted deception as humanoids. I was
Mhm.
giving you that option to try to mimic, right, speech.
To try and
So-
divert them.
Yeah, like make it sound like there's a human or an orc or something talking nearby, but that's a special situation. You guys don't seem to be going in that direction, so you don't need the raven specifically.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I found the rat card and it does not have a climb speed.
Right. So, by the way, Sabrina, you'd be playing a rat, not a mouse, just to be clear, because there's an actual stat card for rats. It'll be
I
the
think
same.
it's Yvonne. Yvonne was going to be the mouse, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
was that Yvonne? Oh, my bad.
That's me.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So,
So when we find the ring or the wing, should we do or should the spider or the rat do a special thing so that
yeah.
the hog knows? Because I don't
Start
know.
doing like a little
mean,
dance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want the giants to, you know, to so that
be
oh my
alerted.
god. Yes, of course. Yeah, thanks. And So I don't know, maybe I could, or the spider could like go in circles. I don't know if the hawk would sense that,
Yeah,
but
the hawk
something that the
can
hawk.
see. They literally in the game they literally have something called keen sight, which gives them advantage on perception checks that rely on sight. And certainly it's
Mhm.
within the DM's authority to make and change rules as and when he or she feels the need to do so. In real life, we know what hawks can do, and because the game recognizes that mechanical ability, I'm going to say, as a ruling, even tiny insects doing something that most people wouldn't notice would be seen by a hawk if it was paying attention.
Which it would be.
Right.
Yep.
Will be.
Yep.
Yeah. So then,
Okay.
I mean, my spider
So
would
if,
do that then.
so your spider's
Like,
going to do a little dance, like run around in circles or something.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Before it gets squashed.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wish.
So we'll let Henrietta figure out how she's going to contribute. I think she's very adaptable and she'll be able to figure out a solution pretty quickly, especially if you guys have a thought about how she could contribute and give her some ideas. But expect that she has the right to do what she wants to do to be fun and contribute in her way, right?
Yeah.
But Joe, I need you to sort of lock it down because again, you're the big swing factor. A level 8 character could be a CR8 creature, which is a weird mechanic in the game because CR8 means 4 level 8 characters would have a fair fight. So technically, even though you're only 1 level 8 character, according to the spell, you can turn into something powerful enough that in theory, 4 level 8 characters would find it challenging. So that multiplier means that if you choose to go max versus min, it really skews what kind of a
combat.
encounter I'm going to have to set up.
Yeah. So guys,
It does, yeah.
are we
And you can
going
do something in the middle. Remember, there's lots of options in the middle. There's flying options, there's running options, there's swimming options if you wanted.
Do we want to lure them away?
Yeah, and I think Maddie blowing up their lair after you've lured them out of there is really smart.
Okay, I can do that.
So if I'm a fast dinosaur, I can be food, lure them away. Maddie can blow up their camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joe, what are you thinking? Like a T-Rex maximum, maxing it out?
How fast is the T-Rex?
That's fast enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be a T-Rex then.
I mean, if you're going to go for any dinosaur in order to be lure, you might as well max it out, and the T-Rex is your best chance of survival. Because don't forget, you're not playing a familiar. If you get killed as a T-Rex, you're going to revert to being a cleric, and you really might die if you're in the jungle by yourself, surrounded by 4 or 5 of these things. It's not impossible. You know how I'm going to run the combat. If you're by yourself and you're surrounded, and you did damage to them, and they want to kill you or eat you, and nobody's going to stop them, it's just going to end in a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
So, okay, good. We've got a plan. Feel free to let me know if you want to change anything, but obviously I'm going to have to say there's like a hard cutoff date by like, I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, something like that. If there's too many, unless Henrietta has something she really wants to do that's quite different and she hasn't had a chance to get her messages because of internet access. I think anybody else, if you've got some really major ideas, definitely think about them today and tomorrow and, Sunday if you can, because I'm sure we'd all love to hear it. This is great. I love it. This is going to be really exciting. It's like Ocean's 11 with dinosaurs.
Very
Are we
fun.
taking long rest?
Yeah, you guys are taking a long rest, right? So you guys should
Okay.
max out your hit points, change whatever spells you might think you need. Maybe you want to change Find Familiars to be not a ritual cast, right? Think about that. Maybe you actually want to be able to cast it using a spell slot on the spot in case something changes or something happens.
Mhm.
Is there something else you can use? Can you, Unseen Servant, right? That's also a ritual spell. Maybe you don't want to have that be a ritual spell either, right? These are really good ideas. Even the Paladin has some pretty interesting concepts that they can use, even though Ariel's level 2. Okay. All right, cool. I know
right.
we ran over there. I didn't think we were going to take this much time planning, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think so.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward.
All right. And then you get to find out the reality of what it is you're actually trying to secure. Is it a wing? Is it a ring? Is it truth? Is it a tooth? I mean, God knows what Devious DM's got in his mind after that encounter with those 3 old ladies. Anything's possible.
uh-huh.
Okay, folks, have a lovely week. I will speak to you next weekend.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Thanks
See you
so
next weekend.
much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.
See you guys.
care.
Bye.
Bye.